Podcast. Right now.
Right now.
Hello and welcome to Podcast Right Now, episode 187, May 23rd, 2021. A weekly fitness and VR podcast based in Columbus, Ohio. On the pod today, we have Churp Daily, Super Shark Johnson, and the one and only TV's JG, aka Joe Concerto. Hello, boys. How are you doing? How's your day? What's your bone pressure looking like?
I'll go first, I guess. I'm doing shitty because my allergies are acting a damn fool. Played golf this morning, so that was cool. Knocked out my entire move and exercise ring all at once.
Nice.
Rest of the day will be mine. But yeah, I was out with the pollen and played pretty good for the first 9, and then got my period or something, and allergies went way out of control. I got angry. I couldn't control myself, and I'm just having a bad day all around.
It's allowed. I mean, they can't all be good, and, you know, it's those bad days that remind us how good the good days are. So
it's true. It's important to remember, and if this is a bad day for me, then
you're lucky.
I guess I'm pretty lucky. All my problems really are first world.
Quite blessed, this man.
But these allergies are out of control, and it's pissing me off a lot.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's some kind of doctor that can do something for me, but my bone pressure is it's not right.
Yeah. Are you taking a Claritin or any sort of any
Yes,
meds
yes.
for it?
I'm taking a Claritin. It does nothing. Claritin does nothing.
I'm sorry, friend.
I shot it out with the saline. I've just been soaking Kleenexes all afternoon, and there's no end in sight other than I took my Benadryl, so I might get sleepy before the end of the podcast, but hopefully I'll be able to breathe out of my nose before it's over.
Yeah, wish you the best. Yeah, good day over here. Did some riding, got the pressure washer out, and got started on the driveway, which is like kind of like the most satisfying thing you can do as a homeowner. And really,
they'll blast your toes off, man.
Yeah, no, I got strong toes. It's impossible to hurt my toes. No, it got real gnarly out there. What else? We had my in-laws over for dinner. We did pulled pork. Slow cooked that all day. That was nice. Pretty productive day. And yeah, I'm having a good day, I guess. No allergies. How about who's left? Joel, tell us about your day. It's a podcast.
I went on a hike.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I went on a hike with the dogs at a park here in this. It was early in the morning, so it seemed like it was going to be okay, but then it turned out that the dogs were getting hot, so we turned back at approximately the halfway point. So I feel like we didn't miss too much of the hike. But
Joe, are you streaming a bunch of video on your internet right now?
No, I'm not streaming anything. Am I busting up?
Your voice,
you're coming through real warbly for me.
Your voice sounds like it was produced by Daft Punk.
Is this better?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I didn't do anything differently there. I just paused and said, "Is this better?"
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually it levels itself out. It'll probably be fine. It just sounded kind of goofy, but it sounds like
we
had
can
a
still
hike.
Understand you too.
Yeah. It sounds like you had a hike with some dogs. That's great.
Yep.
A lot of vitamin D to be had this weekend in Ohio.
Well, it was pretty shady in the on the specific trail, but it was one of those deals where the trail was extremely narrow for quite a while. So like every step was on a rock and kind of like fucked up your ankle a bit because there was no uneven terrain to be had.
Okay.
So probably going to be feeling that one tomorrow. It's something you'll just chalk up to getting old, I guess. Is all kinds of pains that you would bounce off as a reprimand in your earlier days. Now will be with me for at least sometime into Wednesday, I believe.
That's how it works.
Good things. Joel, how was your day? How's your life? How's your kids? How's your wife?
My day's been pretty great, actually. We went to a Boulder market.
Hold on. Why the actually? Why do we say actually? My day's been pretty great, actually. Did you have a great day or not?
400 shitty days leading up to today.
Oh, okay.
A string of bad luck.
Good use of actually. Continue.
400 days.
No, we went to the Boulders Market, which was my first time seeing like you don't have to wear a mask like signs posted up.
It's
and
weird.
It was
isn't
a really utopian. I told Lloyd it felt like I was in the Truman Show. Like everybody was just giddy.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the people were just overly polite or overly cordial. I had Bruce with me, and he got like his love cup filled through the roof with all the attention he got, and yeah, it was just super pleasant. Like there was ladies singing and banjos, and like it was, let's go get our raw honey, and let's go get a tamale over here. It was a lot of fun. And then for lunch we went to a crawfish boil, which I don't think I need to do that ever again.
You didn't like it or what?
So I think if you have to use your hands to access a food, pistachio wins because it's like the reward versus the effort is very balanced. Whereas with a crawfish, it's a creature this big. With my hands, I'm holding up
about the size of a donut.
Like 2 side-by-side decks of cards, you know? And you take the tail off, and that's the only meat that's edible. The rest is like organs and poop shoots and just like bug stuff, you know?
Parts.
So it's very unappetizing to get to the appetizing part. And by the time you get there, you feel obligated to eat it because it's like, oh wow, all this work for a creature that was pulled out of a river and boiled alive just so you could have a reason to listen to Louisiana jazz on an afternoon, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was also
you
the
don't
only one
ever
that,
need a reason for that.
You're right. You're right.
You can listen to jazz while eating ribs. That's a good one we like to do here in Columbus.
I would do that. Yeah, so I don't recommend it. It tastes like shrimp, but a little tougher. Yeah, every once in a while you're gonna get something weird on your finger, and you'll look at it and be like, "This is some sort of like organ that I'm not aware of its function." You know, it's just it's a lot. Ripley, my kiddo, she ate 5 of them, which I think she was doing it just to be like cool.
Right.
But Jasper was like, "No way." Lori ate 2 politely, but like kept holding them to make me have the illusion that she was like in it to win it. So what ultimately happened is I ate like 4 pounds of crawfish. And
what's the right amount of crawfish to eat?
Like
the amount they were giving people was 3 pounds. It was $20. You got 3 pounds. You got corn. You got sausage. You got potato.
It's called a low country boil.
Yeah.
3 pounds, and most of that stuff is not edible.
But
it's with the non-edible
65% of it, 70% of it is not edible. I'd maybe even say 80% is not edible. It's a lot of work. Whereas, like, I'd rather just eat a shrimp.
So how
many net pounds of crawfish do you think you ate then? Out of that 3?
Well, I actually thought about this. I think I probably ate the equivalent of like a 14-ounce steak, probably. That amount of mass.
That's a lot. I mean...
That's a lot, yeah.
I had a low
But I didn't want them to go to waste, man. They went through, like... You think Gladiator's life is tough? Like, look at these poor crawfish, man. The funny thing, funniest part of the whole thing for me was you show up, you're in line, and they have these big buckets full of crawfish that are still alive. And my kids are playing in there, and other kids are, like, pulling out crawfish. And every single one of them is dead. None of them are alive. And it was just, again, it was very off-putting and unappetizing, the entire experience.
Before we go any further... crawfish do not have harder lives than gladiators. That's absurd.
They're basically insects.
Yeah, they're crawfish. They don't have enough feelings to experience more pain than
I guess I would have to go on a big anthropomorphic like mind trip to make that a reality. But I just feel bad that an animal, and I'm not a PETA guy or anything, but
thank God,
that an animal was pulled out of a river and then kept alive in a entire like bucket full of its friends, and then boiled alive.
I had to think today about whether I wanted to hurt an animal, and it was a lesser creature, but still not as lowly as a crawfish. I was trying to decide about a goose. whether I wanted to kick a goose's ass at the golf course.
Chicken cobras.
I'd be careful. Those things, they look like little bitches, but I think they can kind of hold their own.
There were like 15 or 20 of them too.
Yeah, you might have got fucked up, man.
Could have.
Yeah, I see you running in that scenario. Yeah,
you probably would have gone to the ER with that.
Well,
now just to be contrarian, I want to go back and fight 15 geese.
Just make
let's get a film crew.
Make Zane film it. Yeah, that's all I ask.
So I came down on the side of bird, just enough of an animal that I would feel bad about hurting it intentionally. Crawfish, though, insects, spiders.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Step on it right on the street.
Yep.
Why not?
I feel like it depends on the bird, too. Like, I'd feel really bad about fucking up one penguin versus, like...
3 pigeons?
Like a finch or something?
Yeah, you could probably run over unlimited pigeons, but one penguin would be no good.
Well, penguins and ostriches and stuff are less birds than the rest of them, too. So they go up another tier in the hierarchy of,
Just so I understand, is this by animal, like, is this a classification? So are birds lesser than reptiles, which are lesser than mammals kind of thing in your book, or does it depend on how many zoo experiences you've had?
There would be some within each group that would kind of cross. I would say generally birds and reptiles are the same thing when it comes to... Like, the very top is people and then like chimpanzees, right? Because they're the most similar or whatever.
Yeah, pretty close to us.
And then it's the rest of the primates and then the rest of the mammals and basically anything with warm blood and fur, I think you're supposed to look at and feel attached to because it came from the same place you did. And then the
branch of the tree, yeah.
Yeah. The farther out you get from that, I think the less you become. I'm saying an animal that like has any intrinsic value. Kind of tongue-in-cheek, but you become an animal that I need to care about less the farther you get from being a mammal. So, birds and reptiles, I would say, are in the same bucket. They're probably above most fish. And then fish are above most insects, I would say. I don't know. I haven't thought it all through, but...
Let's do a quick lightning round, okay? So a Canadian goose or a common rat, which one holds higher value for you?
A rat.
I'd go Canadian goose, but yeah.
Yeah, because a Canadian goose is a protected species.
I thought those were like the rats of the sky. Because they keep on fucking up airplanes.
Yeah, I saw that movie, Sully.
Yeah.
Okay, are insects the lowest for you?
Maybe, yeah.
That or fish,
Yeah. Like a dolphin... Is a dolphin higher up than any of your primate friends, like a bonobo or a capuchin?
Maybe the capuchin, not the bonobo.
Okay.
It's basically about...
The largest mammal, the blue whale.
I would
also so far removed from your life, it's in the sea.
Yeah. Versus
an Asian elephant.
Like an emu or an ostrich, something a greater land bird, which is closer to your life.
Yeah, not even close. The blue whale wins. It's kind of about like brains, I guess, too. It's about like blue whales.
Conscience?
Yeah. Blue whales like sing and stuff. They have little they have stuff they do. Yeah. And the size does factor in a little bit because if I'm going to kill it, then we've got a body on our hands, and just logistically, there's going to be more to deal with if that's a blue whale.
They also sell insurance, too.
Have you guys been having fun with these cicadas that are crawling out of the earth and saying hello?
I haven't seen any yet.
Oh, our yard is like every morning it's a whole new wave, and the kids have been collecting them and then feeding them to the neighbor's chicken, which is pretty cool.
That chicken's going to taste awesome.
Yeah, but
because those are like protein bombs. Yeah, those little bugs.
My girls, I'm pretty proud of how quickly they became okay with holding these big bastards in their bare hand. You would think, ew, yucky, but they just had handfuls of these little bastards, and these things can't fly. They got really creepy red eyes. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I told them next time that it happens, they'll be adults and they'll be in their 20s. It's crazy.
Right. Well, that specific brood.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's been interesting. We haven't eaten any though.
Cicadas don't fly?
They do, but real poorly.
Okay.
Or at least from what I've seen.
Is that what makes the cicada noise? Is them trying to fly?
I think they do kind of a cricket thing where because I mean, their whole thing is when they're out of the ground, all they're trying to do is F and then
go back and
die. No, then they die. They need to lay their eggs and then they just die. Yeah. But their little shells they leave behind, and I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I went out this morning to walk the dog, and it looked like every little bush in our little flower garden area in front of our house was I don't know. It looked like they were all like berry bushes, but instead of being berries, it was just little creepy red-eyed cicadas. Bugs. Yeah.
So, whoa! It's got to be a big boon to the local ecosystems too. Every 17 years, when that bigger one comes out, like birds are going to eat better, and they're going to shit more stuff out.
Go through the whole food chain.
Well, that's that's their whole angle is that there's so many of them. It's that all predators get their full or get their fill. They eat as many as they want, and there's still plenty left over to mate and lay eggs. It's like their whole angle.
Have you guys ever seen a locust swarm? It's another. So I've only seen it once in Colorado, and it's basically grasshoppers that go through a similar, I say light on the similar feral state as like what a wild pig would go through.
Yeah.
So they're essentially grasshoppers that show up every season, but for whatever reason, one season every 30 years, they are monsters. They're like Incredible Hulk grasshoppers. They're different colors. They eat everything. And me and Dad were getting ready to go to a trail, and we get up on top of this clearing. This was in the Glenwood area, John and Kev. And we could hear them crunching so loud that we couldn't hear the music underneath our car. That's how many of them were on the road. It was just like a sea of these burgundy grasshoppers everywhere. It was crazy. I could see how that has some biblical.
Oh yeah.
If you're a farmer and your entire life relies on that,
Jesus
plot of
is
land,
mad. Jesus is mad at us.
We did this. Give him our son.
Somebody kill his son. Do you guys want to hear about what we're going to talk about on the podcast today? I'm looking at the menu right here.
Sure.
You want the rundown?
What if you surprise us and you organically hit it without telling us?
I like that. First topic.
Novel idea.
First topic.
First organic topic.
First organic topic. Everyone get ready.
Are you ready?
Number one on the list. Yes.
Biking and fitness. Let's get into it. You guys, the weather's here. It is the summer season. There's plenty of sunshine out there. Are we closing rings? How are we doing? Let's do a little weekly check-in. How was your week is what I want to know. Kevin, did you have a consistent week?
I always have consistent weeks when it comes to at least closing the rings. I don't always get outside. This week I did. We went for a bike ride yesterday. It was very pleasant. That did not trigger an all-out HIV-level allergy attack.
Yeah.
And then I played golf today. That was pretty much my outdoors time.
I want to say your pace on the bike is we did an average of 14 miles per hour, and we did a 17-mile ride. I'm impressed at how, I guess, far you've come along since the last time I rode with you, which I think we met over at Cooper Park. I think that was last year. But yeah, killing it, man.
That the one by your house?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was the first time I had been on a bike in 20 years, probably.
Yeah.
So I think we did 12 miles an hour that day, and I had an average heart rate of 180 or something.
Yeah. Good shit. I do have some it's just some feedback for you as far as trail etiquette, and we can get into that whenever you'd like.
Nice. Well, yeah, let's do it now.
Okay, sure. So when you're out riding, yeah, it's real important that you wave to other riders on the trail.
I was doing the head nod.
It's not enough. You got to throw a hand up there. Many of them are not going to wave back. They're not used to this sort of thing. But it's for it's the solidarity of the bikemen. You got to throw a hand up, and especially if it's a beautiful day.
Starting to feel like you're taking some liberties in calling this etiquette, but let's go on.
Okay. The other thing that I noticed that I thought you did a really good job on was your you were very courteous as far as where you were what lane you were in, and as far as passing and all of that. I noticed you have a bell. I have to shout at people, so you made me think I should probably get a bell. I think that's a little more pleasant than some random white dude's voice behind you. I'm on your left.
Is it a standard like ring bell, or is it something different?
It's one tone, but it's I like it. I always wonder whether it sounds like to just hit a bell and not say anything. Sometimes I wonder if it gets read as like being kind of like I'm making a bell noise at you.
I think if it startles somebody, it's always taken that way.
Yeah.
But if it's like you hear it coming, you know it's coming, you're aware, and I think it's okay.
And then
go
ahead.
It is better than coming up with I don't know, because if you say something, then you have to go through the effort of trying to sound pleasant too, and sometimes you're out of breath, and
And then last was I think you had a power bar or some sort of granola bar at some point on our like 12th or 13th mile, so on our way back, and I couldn't help but notice that you just throw your trash out on the trail. We don't do that, and
I mean that's not necessarily bike etiquette. That's etiquette.
He said it was biodegradable and that it would be gone in 1,000 years. And I was like, guy, no, someone's gonna have to pick that up.
This is completely fabricated. I didn't have a power bar. No,
you did. We did great. I had a lot of fun riding with you. I've been riding with people, and it's just it's a nice way to mix up the normal schedule. I went with Pedro a couple times this week. I finished 113.5 for the week, and that's like 8 hours on the bike or something like that. So I feel like I'm back full throttle riding. And I had a moment last night where I was watching a movie with my wife, and I was just admiring how muscular my legs are. Like my thighs and I have this new muscle that kind of came to be on like my shin. I assume it's some sort of tendon or something, but it like hooks all the way down onto your ankle. It comes up the front of your shin, and then it's just like maybe the size of like a chicken tender right on the front of my lower leg. And so I was just like flexing that and looking at that. And then my wife, she had these like short shorts on, and I looked at her legs from like hip to knee straight down. So like the view if you were like sitting and just looking straight down at your leg, and I could not get over how little muscle there was. And I told her I was going to sign her up for like a Thai bow class or like.
Doesn't she have a bike?
No, she has a tricycle. It's like an adult.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw a homeless guy on one of those today.
Yeah, it's not really. She wants to get one. It's just not the type. What she has now is not the type of thing you can have a comfortable workout on. It's more of like let's go cruise down to the sundry shop and get a lolly and then head back, and the whole thing will be a half a mile. I think that's what
she should do. She should start her own pedicab business just in your neighborhood. That'll get those legs in shape.
It's got a big basket on the back for like the farmer's market. You put a squash in there. I don't know. I put it together. Pumpkin. I put it together. I'm not a fan of it, but she's thinking about getting a proper bike, but she's never learned how to ride one, so I'll have to teach her how to ride in addition to, working with the kids.
Are you being serious? Like she can't balance a bike?
Dead serious, yeah. Dead ass.
I mean, a lot of people still can't swim. There's a lot of adults that don't know how to swim.
Black people?
I didn't want to say it. I mean, some different Asian varieties. We're in trouble. We just got canceled. We just got the Joe Rogan treatment.
It's a stereotype.
I mean, I used to teach adult swim lessons in Columbus, Ohio, and there wasn't a Caucasian person in the classes ever when I taught it. Which, so for my own personal experience, I can agree with what you just said.
When I was a lifeguard, the only people I ever rescued were black people. So that's kind of what I'm basing that off of.
Yeah.
That makes you really brave to have rescued black people. Did you just let the white people drown?
No. They were
They just stood up.
They were swimming fine, and it's not like I had my billfold on me or anything. I kept all that back in the staff room and
Jesus
stuff.
Christ, what is going on? None of us are going to get a political office.
Kevin's favorite kind of humor is racial humor. I'm just trying to make sure he has a good time. Joel,
we're just trying to make hay until Carl gets here.
Yeah,
because we can't make any of these jokes once he's here.
How was your fitness adventure this week? Did I see you get on the rowing machine, or what did you do?
I rowed 3 times, and went on some nice walks and hikes. My shoulder is in much better condition.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like I'm going to hit it hard this week too.
Great. And what's your weather like out there in Colorado land?
It's the wettest spring I've ever seen out here.
Nice.
Like to the point where I have a basement guy come in because we have like a weird little tiny leak in our basement, which has never shown up before. So
yeah,
it's really green. There's wildflowers everywhere.
I love it.
But John Hill had a tornado warning yesterday.
Okay.
Like that's a rare thing in Colorado, but yeah, that was a weird occurrence.
Yeah.
So.
And Joe, fitness, you said you're walking your dog, you're going to, you went to the park and you're hiking and stuff?
I said I did a hike.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotta get
Closed out some rings
gotta
on
hit
that
it.
one.
Gotta hit it every day. Are you still using your indoor cycle or your elliptical or whatever?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay.
It's in the room I'm in, so that counts.
Very good. Tell me you're hydrating though. Are you hydrating?
Yeah. Sure. With what? Water?
Yeah.
I mean, there's water and coffee and beer, so yeah.
From Captain Awesome in the chat, Super Shark, they like your mustache. They say it's on point. They're enjoying the bike chats, and
Jesus.
Someone says they're having issues with Twitch. I'm sure they figured it out. But yeah, thanks for joining us in the Twitch chat. It's real podcast right now. If you're listening to this after the fact and on the audio formats, we go live every Sunday. Recently, it's been around 9:00 p.m. Eastern time. So thanks to those who join or are with us now.
I have to be 100% forthcoming with you, John. If you had told me when we first started this podcast, it would develop so much into bike chats over the years, I would have gone out,
you'd have been out,
bought a gun, waited the 5-day period, and then shot us all in the head 5 days later.
I'm with you on that.
That's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, you went from frog battles to bike chat.
Well, I mean, I always talk about what's going on in my life, and that's what's going on in my life right now. I was just explaining to my wife today how much I enjoy the meditative kind of zone that I get into when I go ride alone, because it takes an hour, my daily ride, and I'm out in nature, and I do this thing where if I'm on my break and I'm looking at, like, I think it's the coolest thing about nature is like, if there's nothing man-made in your field of view and you're not looking at like, whatever, your shoes or your bike, or you can't see anything but nature. I like to imagine that I'm in a different time, like it's 100 or 200 years ago, and it's just, that's, No. Hello. We got a kid bomb. Love you. Go to sleep, all right?
But he's tired.
Nice tires.
No. He's still low.
All right. Anyways, You can also do this in the civilized world, where if you ever see like an old car from the 1950s or 60s, but you don't see any other cars around it or anything super modern, like if you're in a neighborhood with older homes and that car goes by, I think it's so cool to like just imagine that you're in the 1960s or something, or you're looking at something that, you know, someone from a different generation may have been in a very close or the exact same spot and looked at the same view. I don't know. It's a weird thing to think about.
I do that on my walks. I was listening to, I've just been getting into jazz for some reason. You know, Spotify will just like, you think you'll like this. Give it a try.
I think it's all the...
You've been eating all the crawfish.
It's all the crawfish, yeah.
It is. They can sense my diet. No, this was actually before the crawfish, and I was out alone on this like big plains, mountainous kind of area, and I was listening to like Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald, and I was like, I'm digging this, man. A little time traveler. I felt like that, was it 1963 movie with Jimmy Franco? Yeah. Where he goes back in time to stop the assassination of JFK. It felt like that a little bit. It was cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but real quick, can you spoil it? Did he stop it, or does it still happen?
I'll say like any time travel butterfly effect type thing, it doesn't quite go as planned.
New Hitler in America. JFK.
But Stephen King writes a lazy time travel yarn. Like the guy found the time machine is a broom closet. Like there's no plutonium or car batteries inside of a storage unit, like nothing like that. It's just.
Is there anything special about the broom closet, or could any old schmo have wandered in there and gone back to 1963?
Well, see, that would be a spoiler if I answered that. So.
Okay, I'm not going to read or watch this in any medium.
It's
Stephen
a hell
King
of a book.
It's probably like 800 pages, though.
It's a hell of a book in terms of the girth of the book. But the Hulu series, if you still have a taste for James Franco, is not bad at all.
I don't know if I've ever had a taste for James Franco. He just kind of shows up in stuff that I'll watch. And
that you'll tolerate?
No, I mean, he's fine, but I've never been like, Franco's in this, fuck, yeah, put it on.
Well, I mean, there's kind of timely news. Seth Rogen kind of put him on blast this last week, saying how he probably won't work with him again after the allegations of trying to sleep with audition like girls in his acting classes and stuff.
Well, he probably won't be on this podcast then either, based on all the racial.
Actually, there's probably a better chance. You know what? That would be a great podcast format. We'll call it Canceled, and we'll get people that have been canceled on the show.
So that's a good idea.
We're
not going to be able to do it, but someone should.
Yeah, someone should do that.
I like that.
Let's hear like their side of the story. Yeah.
It just sounds like the surreal life down the line once they've got enough canceled people to be on.
Oh, that would be a good season of Surreal Life, Joe. Mm-hmm. Canceled edition.
I thought it was really weird how the Seth Rogen, like James Franco disconnection sort of happened. Because, like, first of all, I'm creeped out that I knew about this and that, like, I followed it this many steps. But the first thing that we saw of Seth Rogen was that, like, oh, I don't have plans to work with him again. And then they started, like, running different versions of headlines where it was like, Rogen, not going to work with him again. Never, you know. I feel like they sort of forced him to escalate, like, how much he was willing to say, no, that guy's we're not cool anymore. And, I don't know, it's just weird. Everything's weird. And that, the lady who, I think she worked on Knocked Up, maybe?
Heigl?
No. There's, she was like not an extra, but maybe a cast member or a crew member, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Asian lady who basically like called out, you know, everything that was happening. And then she said that like what Rogen apologized for wasn't enough or something. And and the way that she talks is like every other word is an adverb. And whenever somebody talks that way, I just, I can't, I don't know. It's like you're stealing someone else's like forum where they were doing something that deserved to be known about, and then you're just like, all right, well, I can insert myself into this conversation.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like that. She's funny. I know who you're talking about. She was just in something without any of those guys, which I thought was,
refreshing.
Yeah. Not much to say about that, but yeah, James Franco probably won't come back. Chris D'Elia, I mean, John, can we talk about Army of the Dead?
Yeah, we're going to get to that. I just wanted to wrap...
Oh, wait. Okay, don't spoil 1963 all you want, but don't spoil Army of the Dead, for God's sakes.
I'm shocked you haven't seen it yet.
So I was about to start it the other night, and then I looked at the runtime on that. And,
it's a long one.
It's a little longer than it should be, yeah.
Gotta wait, but I'm excited to see it.
So yeah, just to close up the fitness section and your bikes, if you don't know, if you're not working out every day or whatever, and we've talked about this in the past, there's this cool thing I didn't realize until I was in it, but it's the side effects of just doing the one healthy thing, the one exercise. We talked about how you'll drink more water, you'll be tired, you'll sleep better, but the mental health outside of just changing the chemistry in your brain and getting out there and getting your heart rate up and all that. Outside of that, the alone time, the time that you're not doing something that is immediately, taking your attention and entertaining you or whatever. And so that's when, I come up with, whatever, ideas for drawings or, weird thought experiments about, hey, if I could pretend I'm back in time because I'm looking at something that maybe a Native American stood in the same spot 200, 300 years ago. And, but how, I mean, with at least for me, and maybe it's the same for you guys and maybe not. Joel, I think you meditate or mess around or have messed around with meditation and stuff. I'm not the type of person that I want to just sit somewhere and do it. So I think I'm putting this on the list of kind of another side effect of, if you just make yourself do it every day, your brain gets this little break from looking at your phone and, whatever, going bam, 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 one thing to the next throughout your entire day, or whatever, vegging out in front of the TV. It's, I think it's nice to just have a little edible in my belly time. And a little Zen time,
John, you should try it though. Like, especially if you're feeling that on the bike, when you get to the midway point, just stop and sit somewhere. And it'll definitely take it up a notch, especially if you start to get good at it.
Oh yeah.
Just sitting in nature, not even closing your eyes or trying to do any kundalini or anything like that. Yeah. You just sit in nature and I'm sure you'll have, I would say 2 or 3 more ideas than if you stayed on your bike.
I love it. Okay. So yeah, let's get into movies. I saw a few movies that I want to recommend. I have 2 movies in a series, but yeah, let's start with Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. Just came out, Netflix original, and there's a lot of fun things we can talk about. It's just the premise, without there being any spoilers, is that there's a zombie outbreak and it's contained to just Las Vegas, and they've built like a wall out of shipping containers, and they've trapped all the zombies there. The zombies, there are different sort of, there's like a hierarchy. There's just your standard, I'm a zombie and I want to eat you. But then there's also like sort of an alpha breed, and they have kind of like a king and a queen zombie. And so these zombies are intelligent and they can communicate, and it's just a little different, kind of refreshing to see not just the standard, there's a zombie running at me. There is a large sum of money that, a rich entrepreneur wants to get his hands on before the government nukes Las Vegas and takes out all the zombies. And got to get a team together, got to get Dave Bautista, and you got to get in there, you got to get out. Everyone lives. It's a lot of money. We'll split it all these different ways, and we'll be rich, and we'll have, and happy ending. But of course, things do not go as planned.
I mean, it's what's unique about it. It's a heist film in a zombie universe, and it's a different type of zombie film in that you got the runners and the walkers kind of together, and then this new kind of, like John was saying, this alpha or uber zombie kind of breed as well. And then I'm also a fan, Joe, of any time you get zombie animals. And so there's zombie animals in this one as well, too. So it's like a whole lot of, got a great theme being Vegas, and it's a whole lot of like Zack Snyder-y, like zombie shit and slow motion and violence. And then it's also a heist film, that The Rock couldn't do. So they used Dave Bautista.
Yeah, on my pro list for the movie is, and everybody knows Zack Snyder, he's sort of a visual director, right? He always has sort of it's either super deep depth of field stuff, the pacing of his action sequences, the kind of visual language that he uses. What was the slow motion is like his go-to. So I always am careful with Zack Snyder movies because I feel like he's a music video director, like one of the best music video directors that somehow got a job as a feature-length film director. And
Spike Jonze, it happened to Spike Jonze too.
I feel like his movies kind of fall apart when it comes to character building and plot building and making you kind of care and give a shit about the characters, especially if he's not working off of something like a strong source, like the comic books or a novel or something like that. But yeah, one of my pros is I really liked the visual tone set in this movie, especially the violence and gore. I thought that was done in a way that was over the top to be fun at some points, but then other points just straight up Fangoria, like gruesomeness. There's some fun death sequences and ways to, that they kill zombies in the movie. So look forward to that, Joe, for sure. Kevin, have you seen this thing yet? No. Okay.
Nah, that's not one of the things that I'll be watching.
Joel, 10 scale. Where'd you land?
6.
6? Okay.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah,
but it's fun. But it's not good.
I think I'm about the same. Maybe a 7. I might have gone a little higher, but there's just a couple little parts of the movie where it's just like, well, hold on, that actually doesn't make any sense.
There's a ton of open plot holes, but there's also these like moments of character exposition and like feeling moments that are completely out of place and completely unnecessary. It's like, let's make this a zombie killing music video, or let's make this a Latino soap opera starring Dave Bautista. Let's pick one, because it was doing too much of the back and forth. And it's also, like we said earlier, it's a little long. It doesn't need to be that long.
It's a pop.
It could have been 20 minutes less.
It's definitely a popcorn movie, so manage your expectations, even if you're a big zombie dork or a Zack Snyder dork. The other fun thing surrounding this movie was this thing was in the can, and they finished production in 2019 just as Crystalia got canceled for grooming and
throwing his dick to underage girls.
I don't know that it's ever. I don't know all the details, but I know that he was messaging underage ladies when he was out doing his comedy tours, and so they said, "Fuck this guy." And after the fact, CG removed him and then recasted his character with comedian Tig Notaro, which I've always liked. I think she's funny. I always liked her comedy. It's a small role, so it didn't impact the movie that much, but there is this thing, kind of this
weird
uncanny valley thing that happens when she is in a scene or having dialogue with one of the main characters where just something's not right.
You know what it felt like to me, John? Do you remember the MTV Music or Video Awards when like Billy Crystal would host and they would put him in like Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
And it always looked really good.
Right.
Or they put Ben Stiller in Mission Impossible or something like that.
Or what's his name? Like Sean William Scott or something in The Matrix Reloaded. Yeah,
because apparently they were doing interviews and they asked Dave Bautista, hey, what was it like to work with Tig Notaro? Like, she's so great. And
they haven't met.
I actually haven't met her yet.
Yeah, they haven't met. I looked into it a little bit too. All of it, or I saw an interview with her, and I guess she was really worried about taking the role to begin with, because she didn't,
Of
you
the
know,
Heat?
well, yeah, she just didn't want to like piss off all the D'Elia fans or whatever. And of course, they're going to share some fans. I mean, anyone who's a fan of comedy, like either of those comedians, you would go see them if they were in your town.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know, just kind of this weird. And I guess you have to keep in mind like the budget of this. I mean, this is not a theatrical release, $150 million budget movie. This is a Netflix original where a lot of the budget has gone into, you know, the CG, and you know, production value like that. And I saw in another interview that Zack Snyder said that they spent more on the zombie tiger than they did recompositing Tig Notaro over what's his name?
Crystalia.
Yeah, Crystalia. So I don't know. Just something to kind of look for if you ever feel like weird, like maybe your TV's broken or your eyes are broken at any point watching that movie and Tig Notaro's on the screen. Now you know what's going on. Yeah.
It was a $90 million budget. It cost them $10 million to add Tig into the movie.
There you go.
Which means the tiger probably cost, what, 15?
I
So
guess.
that's 25 mil, a little more than quarter of their budget just on a tiger and a comedian replacement.
Yeah. A good chunk of that probably went into marketing too, because I saw a lot of ads for this coming up before it came out. And then they did a thing a week before it came out. You know, we're going to do like a longer trailer, get ready for that, you know, and then the movie will be out in a week. But, yeah, if you like zombies, if you like Dave Bautista, I can never say his name. Yeah, give it a run. What the hell else do you got going on besides jacking
It's
off
fun.
and
It's a good
exercising?
time.
Yeah, watch it.
It's as fun as Kong versus Godzilla. Let's put it that way.
I had more fun with Kong versus Godzilla, but I think that was because I saw it in the theater. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sure.
The next movie I'll bring up is Nobody is the title. I don't think we've talked about this yet on the podcast. Stars Bob Odenkirk, and he is got kind of a boring life with a very exciting past, and he has a guy and a gal break into his house, and he has an opportunity to like fuck him up big time, but doesn't. And then the word gets around that he didn't, you know, like murder these burglars, and he hunts down the people responsible, and then goes full John Wick on everybody. So, Joel, did you see Nobody yet?
Sure did. John Wick 5.
Yeah, I liked that one much more than I liked Zombies, but both fine movies. We got a Carl boy joining us. What's up,
Wait a minute.
Camping Carl
This isn't
over
chat
here?
roulette. Hi.
He thought he was
You
on
should have
Omegle.
called somebody into this. That would be great.
He thought he was on Omega.
I thought I was going to get butthole.
Carl, you
Hi.
came in at the movie segment of the podcast. We're just talking about what we watched this week. We already did Army of the Dead with Dave Bautista and directed by Zack Snyder, and now we're talking about Nobody, the Bob Odenkirk kind of John Wick recipe style movie.
Carl, you also missed bike
heard
check.
about that one.
Did you ride your bike this week?
No, not yet.
Okay, well that's real quick.
Joe said
Yeah.
Joe said if he knew we were going to be talking about biking and exercise as much when we first got into the podcast, that he would have murdered us all and then himself. Is that right?
Yeah, I think
said
that's the only way to
specifically I
kill
would've
all of us.
Bought a gun, waited the 5-day period, and then gleefully shot each and every last one of us. And
Gleefully.
Well,
put
Joe,
two in my own head.
you can talk about buying that gun and killing us or whatever. You can do it now, or you can wait 4 years and we can have this conversation again. So, what's it going to be?
It's a good point. Sunk cost fallacy. Yeah.
Awesome, Carl.
I mean,
have you-
4 years
soon
is going to
it'll be-
pass either way, man.
That is the
Soon
fun
it'll be,
cost
what
fallacy.
vitamins are you taking? And have you guys shit your pants yet this week? That'll be the subject. That's a natural path.
That was the fun. I thought shitting your pants was a fun subject. We did that a few weeks back.
Oh, that's always a fun topic.
That is a fun
Yeah.
subject, yeah.
It's evergreen too.
Uh,
Ever brown.
do I look better? Am I in
Good. You look
crisper
refreshed.
high definition right now? I got
Oh,
a
yeah,
new
you do.
webcam. with one of those lights. So
You do look sharp.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Is it a little square light?
yeah.
Okay, we might have gotten the same one.
You sound super loud on my end, or is that just me? Are you sitting real close to something, or?
Uh-oh.
Well, I am close to my mic.
Sounds fine to me. Looks like John may have spilled a beer on his.
I did.
Oh.
Foul.
I certainly did. You guys talk. I got to clean this up.
Joe, remind me, what was the name of the Michael Douglas film where he kind of had enough? It was like
It was
Falling
Ant-Man.
down?
Oh yeah, it was Falling Down.
Falling Down.
I had enough of Ant-Man though.
I know,
what you were.
Kev, I know you liked that film or liked that film. Nobody is a similar flavor to Falling Down.
Okay. I've actually never seen Falling Down. I just had an anecdote about my boss telling me that movie reminded him of me in some way, which I was
compliment.
told later is not a compliment. So,
Both are good. So I actually have seen Nobody too. We didn't get to me yet, but I'll jump in since John is gone. Yeah, definitely the John Wick vibe, but comical is not even the right word. There's something different about it that makes it not be exactly like John Wick, but just like, I guess now there's a subgenre of former, boogeyman now coming back to get his own revenge into it. Now that we've got multiple John Wicks and nobody, there's probably another one out there too that I'm not even thinking about right now. There must be.
Mel Gibson did the one called Rage. I think that's what it was
Rage.
called.
No, I haven't seen that.
That was one that came out right as he was calling people sugar tits.
I guess Mel Gibson though in The Patriot is kind of a similar vein. Like he fought in that one war, and then the Revolutionary War is coming up, and they call him back up after they murder all of his kids, and he stabs.
Except for Heath Ledger.
No, Heath Ledger dies eventually. He dies very late in the film.
Right.
But the little kid dies first.
Like after the film.
Still too soon. Still too soon. But yeah, he stabs that dude
That's
through the
really
heart with a
late in
flag.
the film.
It's called
Yeah.
Payback. I was way off. It's not Rage. It's Mel Gibson's 1999 Payback.
Rage, I think, is with Nick Cage. Because Nick Cage only makes movies that rhyme with his last name. So it must be.
You're right. You're absolutely right, Joe.
That's a Cage I haven't seen. It's on my Cage to-do list.
Hey, Rage.
Age to do.
I've been kind of blown away at the old man action hero and how that hasn't quite gone away. I feel like a lot of people owe Liam Neeson like a lot because he kind of kept it going, if not maybe even started it. And like Matt Damon's doing, he's starting to transition into old man action roles. And
I really don't consider Matt Damon an old man yet, but he probably is getting to be the age where Liam Neeson maybe did the first Taken, if not a little bit younger. But that's absolutely correct, I would say.
He's 57. No, sorry. Matt Dillon is 57 years old. Matt Damon is 50.
Okay. How old was Liam Neeson when he did the first Taken?
Hold on. In Taken, he was 56 years old.
Okay, so he was Matt Dillon's age then.
So Matt Dillon needs to step up to the
Matt
plate.
Dillon is ready to slide into that role now.
Yeah.
If he wants to do a Kiss the Girls 2 where he starts fucking up everyone, then it's his time.
It's the girls. That's a deep pool.
It's like the only Matt Dillon film. No, he was in Wild Things, right? That was him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know two Matt Dillons.
I watched, there's a new MODOK series.
Yes, and Patton Oswalt is the voice of MODOK.
Right?
I've been meaning to see this and have not found the time yet.
It's fun. It's the same production company as
Almost
Robot
done.
Chicken. So it's got a similar feel as Robot Chicken.
Okay.
And Seth Green is the executive producer. And it's just it's hilarious. It's great. I feel like, because Harley Quinn has the R-rated cartoon, I feel like Marvel was like, hey, we should do one too. But they're both great in their own regard.
Wait, Harley Quinn has an R-rated cartoon?
She has an R-rated cartoon on HBO, and
Okay.
it's the exact same art style as the Batman animated series.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it even, like, she wears that costume a couple times as well.
It's not
and
voiced by the original Harley Quinn actress.
No,
voice.
it's Kelly Cuoco, who...
Oh, yeah, sure.
She modernizes the accent a little bit, in a way.
Okay.
And then you got, oh god, the Joker. He was the pirate in Dodgeball. I'm trying to think. I'm blanking on his name.
Oh, Alan Tudyk.
There you go. Thank you so much, Joe.
He's in everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill?
He does
every
like
time there's a Joker voice,
Mark
it's
Hamill
not Mark
style.
Hamill.
Yeah.
You talking about the new Batman animated series?
The new Harley Quinn
Oh.
series. King Shark is in it and hilarious. Bane is in it, and he plays the same Bane as the the Batman Begins, whatever that Bane movie was. Rise of the Dark Knight.
Dark Knight
So he's
Rises.
constantly like, come over and try my oatmeal cookies. I will burn you to the ground. So it's pretty good. So check that out. If you guys want some R-rated humor, MODOK and Harley Quinn are a great thing to fall asleep to after you've eaten an edible.
So with MODOK, they must have no play. It's not affiliated with the MCU, obviously. So
It is.
No, they made it very clear that it's
Really?
not.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So they don't have plans to bring him into that universe because he was like chiefly an Iron Man villain, right?
And that I don't
MODOK
know.
was originally a Hulk villain.
Fantastic Four.
He was a
Fanta-
Hulk villain. He teamed up with the leader and AIM, which is Assisted Idea Mechanics. Advanced Idea Mechanics, sorry.
Right. Okay. So they're
But
probably not bringing him
AIM
into the MCU.
AIM also has the sword plot that was in Iron Man 2. So there's definitely some crossover there. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. He's like a supervillain by day and like a big floating head dad by night. So it's just like, and it's Patton Oswalt, so it's fantastic. Check it out.
Yeah, you can't lose. The other series...
He's got a funny voice.
Yeah. He does that Ratatouille movie. It's a good time. The other one I wanted to recommend, which
It's that film is disgusting.
the other one I wanted to recommend that I binged it all out in like one night on accident. I didn't realize that I was just... Do you ever do that where you get to the last episode and you're like, oh, I finished it. Whoops. Anyways, the second season of Love, Death, and Robots is on Netflix as well. And it's all animated. There are a couple live action ones this time around, but kind of think Black Mirror. So short episode format, which I like because I feel like they don't have a lot of time to goof around setting up characters and everything. It's just they hit you with the story, and usually the stories are a little crazier because they're not all in on an hour and a half, 2-hour movie or a whole season of one show or whatever. So check that out if you fancy a bit of the techno futurist end of the world, all animation, cool new technique, CG animation stuff, pretty cool.
You guys watch any of this Handmaid's Tale?
My wife's
Seen
into
any of
that.
that?
Yeah, pretty.
I tried,
pretty
man.
dark.
After
Yeah,
the first her doing her duty as a handmaid, I'll say, it was hard. That was rough to watch. I was like, why would I actively subscribe to watch something like this? However, my wife, she's read all the books and she's all in, so.
it's the same with my wife. Yeah, they like that really dark shit.
Yeah, it's good characters. It is a spooky idea, though, that, and it's kind of something that, I don't know, could happen. We could render ourselves infertile.
Yeah.
Or have a new ideology take over, and the majority subscribes to that ideology, and then everybody else is just, if you don't think this way, then see ya. I think that is close to happening. I think that's a lot closer than we realized a year ago.
Yeah, they were trying to put people's asses on the wall on January 6th, I think.
That was actually one of the stories in that Love, Death, and Robots. They had like a little mini series about a detective who had to hunt down unsanctioned like childbirth. So there's like a law in the future where if you have illegal babies, they just show up and like kill everyone. I think the parents go to prison, but they kill your kid right there. It's like real dark and shit. So I don't know. There's a lot of people in the world. I mean, that's an attractive little storyline, you know. If it means fewer people on 270 when I'm heading into work, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I mean, the infants wouldn't be driving, so that doesn't really.
One day they'll be driving, Joe.
16 years from now, you'll be damn grateful.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm dreading the flood of like virus related television and films that is probably waiting for us, lurking around a corner somewhere.
Do you think so?
5 years from now, we're getting
a whole lot of that. Once somebody establishes that it's okay, it's just going to be a fucking flood.
It's already coming. Judd Apatow has one in production right now. It's about trying to make a movie during a pandemic. It's called Bubble.
I don't need it. That actually might be interesting, but I don't need like Oliver Stone doing World Trade Center in 2006. Like
that movie was so weirdly out of place.
Is that the one with Nick Cage?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not good, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't know. I haven't seen it since it came out, but I don't know. I wonder. I feel like part of us, this generation, we just got to distance ourselves emotionally from some of that, you know? And I personally think, Carl, me and my wife had a long conversation about this, because if you go back to what's going on and then what is the creative expression after, you can kind of go back through history and see, you know, you got women's lib movement, and then a bunch of witch movies came out in the 70s, like a lot of like anti-women movies, and then you had, you know, of course, the Holocaust, and then there was like the war movies then turned into cowboy movies, and we're still in this superhero thing, which is so funny because we're not smart enough to know why it's happening now, but someone will tell us 20 years from now, you know, why we were... It
makes billions of dollars every time they come out.
Right, but cowboy movies used to make the equivalent of that back in the 60s, you know? So it's like, it's interesting.
I mean, isn't that like, for fantasy, the natural response to, like, the last 20 years? I mean, since 9/11, like, we're getting terrorist attacks, people are shooting up schools and stuff. You need superheroes.
Right.
In a fictitious world.
Yeah.
Well, and I think we're seeing a lot of the broken hero genre now is, like, kind of popping off. So, The Boys... Umbrella Academy, Invincible. John, I was telling you about that Irredeemable comic book. Like, we're starting to get this, like, everyone, and the way I read into it is we kind of beat ourselves up a little bit too much for not being, you know, societally perfect. And so, of course, it's fun to watch heroes, like the Hancock thing is the easiest example of, like, they should be perfect, but they're not. And that's an attractive thing to watch. Like, that's why Wolverines and Deadpools have always been entertaining to us. So to get to my point though, I think we could have one of two things. I think we could have another zombie rising, like that type of genre. So like a pandemic, but a little sci-fi. Or I think we could go back to the ooey gooey sitcom days. Like just happy, joy. Everything's going to be okay because of just how sensitive and emotionally beaten down a lot of society is right now. So I guess we'll see.
I was glad that during the pandemic and stuff produced that they didn't mix like the masks and all that shit just right out of the gate into every form of entertainment. I think that was a nice thing to not have to, you know, come home after the grocery store and everyone's sanitizing their carts and putting masks all over them, and, you know, to not have to continue to see that on in our escapism, you know, our TV and our video games and stuff. So
there's a great little rom-com film on Hulu right now called Save Yourselves.
Okay.
And they didn't obviously, it was filmed before the pandemic, but it's a perfect movie to watch right now, especially with your partner, because it's like two millennials and what would they actually do if the world is ending? And essentially, without spoiling anything, they go in a cabin in the woods, and part of the trip is let's get away from our cell phones. Let's turn our cell phones off. And they do this big ceremoniously, like turning off the cell phones, leaving them in the car. And then they go have a great time in a cabin in the woods. Meanwhile, the world's ending all around them, right? That's the plot of the movie. And it's stinking hilarious, but it totally makes you laugh louder because of how stupidly we react to panic and fear. Like it captures that happened during COVID, like John, like you were saying with the beginning of the pandemic. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Judd Apatows and the Seth Rogans make a whole slew of new comedies that fit within the coronavirus bubble of all the stupid shit that happened and how difficult easy things were. You know, they'll stay away from the election, of course, but
I'd like to see someone have fun with it too and go full on conspiracy with it and make like you have the setup, but then like in this movie you get to find out that the virus was created and you get the whole story, or like it would have to be set in like an alternate dimension where it's like not Donald Trump as president, but someone just as orange and obnoxious and yeah.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher.
Donald Trump.
Yeah. I think that would be fun. No, Tom Sizemore with a weird wig would be fine for me. That would be fine.
Tom Sizemore still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Sizemore is the perfect person to ask that question of. I just realized that once you said that, I had the same thought. It's like, and then I think I was thinking of James Gandolfini, and for some reason left Tom Sizemore into also being dead, because didn't he also have a huge coke problem? Something? I don't know. Moving on.
Yeah, a heart problem.
In the chat, we have COVID 19-year-old virgin. We have Pandemic's Labyrinth, 15 Monkeys, Handmaiden's Tale 3, Army of Midwives. Some good ideas being tossed out in the chat. Keep it up, boys.
Is this all one person that's throwing these down, or is there like actively...
Is that all, Bubby?
We have right now 51 people watching live, and this is a conversation between about a dozen people, it looks like.
Wow.
None of that's true. There are 3 viewers.
Damn it!
You shouldn't have blown your
I know. Joe would have like started writing some jokes.
Like, all right, maybe the bike thing's not that bad.
Moving on from stuff to watch and recommendations. Anything else before we put this topic to bed? Carl, did you see anything besides Handmaid's Tale? Any movies or anything that rocked your dick? Or Kevin, did you have anything that you saw this week that you would tell folks to check out?
Nothing dick rocking.
Nothing special. Gotcha.
I was skipped totally in this whole conversation.
We don't care about your.
Did you talk about your PlayStation?
Not yet.
Did you talk about the PlayStation?
No, we're gonna do we're going into video games. Right.
But
what
I wanted to say that I watched,
yes,
which was
turn the Wi-Fi off on your phone, by the way.
Several night events. I watched Eurovision 2021. Have you guys ever heard of Eurovision? Do you know what this is besides being the
yeah, Joe.
I only know about it from the Will Ferrell movie, but
so it's a real thing that's been going on for many years. It turns out ABBA was discovered this way. It's really fucking cool. It's like American Idol meets the Olympics across Europe.
Great description.
Yeah, each country submits a band or a group or a singer, and they all do like a live performance that I think the vocals are done live, but the backing track is pre-recorded. So I've come away with at least 4 groups that
worth never following.
Yeah. So I don't even know how to spell their name still. So I continue to search for them on YouTube.
There's like lots of shit in there.
Yeah, Iceland, Eurovision 2021. Search that and watch this group. That's probably my favorite. Come away from it. Italy was the one that once I saw, I was like, oh, this group is going to win. And lo and behold, they did. You probably have seen it on, well, maybe not probably. You may have seen it on Reddit that once they were announced as the winner, they cut to them, like the lead singer's doing a line of coke. And then, they go up on stage shortly after that and do their performance again. So watch Italy. And then Finland, too, is like a 2021 Finnish version of Linkin Park / POD new metal. So love them as well. They came in finished very highly, too. And then Portugal, they didn't finish as high, but I thought they were a very good group as well. And then Ukraine is a lady who did some cool stuff with her voice, and then everyone else from there were varying degrees. No one was like awful, because obviously you gotta have some degree of talent to get up there, but those were the ones that I enjoyed. Check them out on YouTube, or just watch the whole dang Eurovision on Peacock if you got that.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, sounds interesting. I will definitely check it out.
Cool. Neat.
Video game chat. Let's get into it, boys. We got
Wait for Kevin.
Oh yeah, we should wait for Kevin.
I have a thing. Something happened when we went camping. I got to talk.
Of course.
Like a Sasquatch situation?
No, nothing like that.
Damn
Just a bad experience.
Is it a mushroom situation?
All right. Video games.
No.
Let's do it. Version 29 just released or is releasing in waves from Facebook for the Oculus Quest 2. Stuff you can look forward to in this update. A new live overlay feature, which allows you to capture gameplay with yourself composited into the shot. Mic capture when casting and recording, which that's one that I'm very happy that they fixed, because I know I recorded some Demio gameplay footage with Super Shark and Kevin, and hoping to kind of get, some funny banter to cut up and make into a little video, but found out quickly that it doesn't record the headset's microphone. It records everyone else's microphones, but not you, so that's cool. They fixed that. This is my favorite feature that they're adding, and I hope it works well. It's iOS notifications in headset. So you'll have a notification pop up in your headset if you receive a text or really any lock screen notification that comes through on your phone. But right now that's only for Apple. They said Android is coming soon, which is funny because the device runs on an Android chipset, but it's Apple that gets that feature first. I don't really get it.
Well, same with the overlay. That you need an iPhone to do that.
Yeah.
The overlay as well.
I heard something that Facebook, it's sort of like the Facebook's Reality Labs, and then all of Zuck's people and Facebook HQ. They're like real Apple heavy users, and it's kind of like an Apple type company.
That's what I heard too.
And that they have this issue where that if you work there for a little while, that there were some people that were randomly selected and they were given Android phones, and they had to use the Android phones because no one knew how well Facebook was running on Android devices. Yeah. So that makes sense. There's a new file browser, which is cool if you record gameplay footage and clips and stuff. And then this one's big too. 120 hertz is now supported for AirLink. The headset that launched at, I think, that 76 refresh, and then they bumped it up to 90, and then now we're up to 120 hertz after they got FCC certification. I have experienced this, and I've noticed this with, there's only a few supported games native to the Quest, but all of Steam and all of the Oculus Rift software, it all works right now with a link cable, and I played a couple games just to see that buttery smoothness, and I was pretty happy with how well it worked right out of the gate, and I didn't have to tinker much with scaling or resolution options or anything. It just kind of worked. So smooth VR is good VR. And that's version 29. I haven't got my update yet, but it should be.
I got mine.
They really don't want you to take those headsets off, do they?
No. I got mine.
We're gonna keep updating them till you don't even have to take it off.
Well, that's kind of what's cool about it, Carl, is that it's the device isn't done. Like, since they launched it, they added hand support. Like, that was a major one, like hand tracking and stuff. Like, they keep dropping these cool little updates that just, I don't know. I can't really compare it to anything else. I guess your computer, you get your graphics card updates, but even on the console side, it's not like every month you get an update on your Xbox that does anything noticeably different other than maybe tweaking the user interface or something. So this is cool to actually get new features after the fact.
Only stuff that releases into shit, like No Man's Sky, gets a bunch of free fucking sweet new features.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like that came out and it was crap.
Yeah.
So they had to make it better, or else it just would have been crap.
And they somehow did. If you like No Man's Sky, go back and play it.
We can play that with Joe, by the way. I can get on my computer, you can get on your Xbox, and he can get on his PS4, and we can all meet up on a fucking planet somewhere.
That has...
and then
don't have the
immediately
online
get lost
mode
and
yet.
spend the next 2 hours trying to find each other. It'll be great.
Well,
He doesn't have... That's right, he needs better than dial-up internet first.
If we did that, me and Kevin could cross-play with you guys in VR, too. That game has native VR support after an update they did last year, so pretty cool.
I was going to say, my favorite V29 feature,
Yeah.
they put battery life on your hand controllers.
Oh, yeah, little quality
You
of
can see
life.
the battery life, which is nice. And then they have made the Guardian less sensitive, which I have noticed. Like, when you read the notes, it's like, okay, cool, that makes sense. But if I'm sitting down and playing, the Guardian isn't constantly showing up, which is cool. And then the only other Oculus thing, John, is if you bought your Oculus 2 pretty early on, you can get a free face mask right now.
Yeah.
And I've been using mine, and it is a dream. Like, significantly more comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
And they gave me 2 of them, and it's like a leather, like a poly leather kind of material.
Yeah.
And you can wipe it off, and you can freshen up, and it's just a lot more comfortable than that dry ass itchy foam that you get.
Yeah.
Pump all over it, it'll clean right off.
Well, for fitness, it's super handy, and it's summer now too. So, Kevin, you're gonna definitely want to get your hands on this. I ordered mine and it arrived. I wanted one, and I don't know why I got it or hadn't got it yet. The company is called VR Cover, and they were kind
That's
of
who makes mine.
Yeah, they're one of the big boys who do this third party company, but they're featured on like Oculus's page. I don't know if they've partnered in some way, but I want you to see this, Joel, because I sent you photos, but I got the limited edition what is it? That guy's YouTube channel, Virtual Reality Oasis edition.
Okay.
And then it's got the white PU leather. So this is like a vegan leather. And like Joel said, you can just take a disinfectant wipe and just wipe that bitch off instead of the sponge.
I'm jelly of your
Amazon
lens
people
covers, though. That's what I wish I had.
Yeah. And Kevin, I got an extra lens cover that I got for you, which is kind of nice when you're not using it. So
Cool. Thanks, man.
yeah. Joel, if you were in my town, I would give it to you, but you're not.
No, it's okay. I've been just putting a sock in there.
Oh yeah, that's good. Or I use these microfiber cloths to clean the lenses, and I just shove that in there, especially when you need a little piss break or got to go grab a beer when you're in Demio, because if the headset goes to sleep, it'll boot you out of the game, and then you'll have to. It's easy to get back in, but you could lose your cards or get the key glitch or something. But yeah, the old interface was like, it was causing people to break out, because after you sweat in it more than a couple times, it formed, there's like bacteria in it, and then you're just putting that on your face. And then this interface also has some vents to allow airflow into the headset. I've never had an issue with my lenses fogging up, but if you go hard and you're playing a boxing game or Beat Saber, it can happen, I guess. So
John, I haven't told you this, but I found a VR rowing fitness app.
Mm-hmm.
So you get on your rowing machine with your Oculus.
Yeah.
And you're rowing, right? And I tried it once, and it did fog up. Like, it was bad.
Yeah.
But this was before I tried the new Shield, so.
Cool. And did you put the Fat Boy Comfort mode on, or did you put the thin one on?
I don't know what that means.
You said it came with 2 pads for your
faceplate. I assumed they were the same.
No, one's fat and one's thin, and you actually want to use the thin one, because the closer the lenses are to your eyeballs, the wider field of view you're going to have in there. It's good.
Yeah,
times.
I think I definitely used the Fat Boy ones, but I'm still okay with it.
Sure.
It's like sitting on a leather couch
it's
in my face.
really comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill, when you say you got a rowing game, does it let you row on like famous rivers like the Nile or the?
It's pretty shitty graphics. My rower does have a feature though, where I can go down the Zambezi River though, with crocodiles in
cool.
in like it's all done with like GoPros and shit like that. That's my favorite way to row. I think that it's so cool.
And
the Thames. I went down the Thames.
There you go.
Is that how you say that?
No.
Thames.
The Thames?
The Thames.
The Thames. Thank you, Joe.
I've been on it. It's great. You'll love it.
The only other things I had were a couple sales that are going on right now that you might want to check out. I guess this is geared towards anyone playing on PC or linking with PC, which I guess, Kevin, this might apply to you or anyone that's listening. Outer Wilds, $15. That has a VR mod, and I'm super stoked to play that. People are saying that Outer Wilds is one of their favorite games, regardless of the VR stuff. Carl or Joel, have either of you tried this game yet?
Yeah,
I've heard of this game.
You kind of go
is this the little
planet
the
to
little
planet.
game?
Yeah.
I played it. I
Okay.
didn't play it more than once.
Okay. So I'm excited to try that one out. That one I did get. Right now the Epic Game Store has their Epic Mega Sale. So all you got to do, Carl, this is for you, and Kevin, this is for you. Just go on to the Epic Game Store, say you want your $10 coupon, and you get $10 off of any game that's, I think, $15 or more. And then when you buy any game with that coupon, they give you another $10 coupon. So if there's anything you've been sleeping on or something you want that the Epic Game Store has, go for that. The one I have my eye on right now, I'm waiting for a sale, is that PlayStation exclusive with the zombies and the motorcycle. Joel,
That game is awesome.
Days Gone, is that the
Days
title?
Gone.
Yeah. So I got my eye on that.
That's where the zombies interact with each other, and there's these swarms, so you can bottleneck them, and they're just like coming at you and stuff, and it's legitimately terrifying.
We actually had a good conversation about the IGN kind of review attack, and a bunch of other reviewers kind of got in trouble for pushing their review out of that game before they had played more than like a third of it or something. And I don't know, that was like last year we talked about that. And then Super Hot, $13 on fanatical.com. And you want to buy that because that game is, I think,
The must-have.
I think it's a first, it's the first game you should play in VR. I think it's perfect. There's no way you can get motion sickness because you're not moving anywhere. You're shooting guns. It's got a super cool aesthetic, that weird kind of like crystal glass looking bad
Polygonal.
guys. Yeah, low poly. Yeah. So some game sales. And that's all I got. What have you guys been playing? I know we've done Demeo a few nights since potting last week. We did a big GTA night. Was that Friday night? That was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, we did.
Kind of back to basics. We haven't done that in a while.
Kevin tied.
Yeah, I got dead last.
I think I won though, because it was up to the computer to assign a winner. Our scores were tied, but then it told me that I won, so I think I actually beat you and won. I came in first, you came in second.
I'll rematch you anytime you want.
It was super close though. It was 1 point separated 3 people.
Yeah,
It's pretty fun.
good playlist.
I played Walkabout. I played Walkabout Golf last night, and I don't think I played much since its update.
Yeah.
And they've added new things to find. Have you guys seen this?
Yeah, it's like almost like hints and clues that you have to find, right?
Yeah, like you have to do the one I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
You have to do some legit math, like what's it called? Geometry.
Geolocation?
You have to find 2 points, and then the object that you're supposed to find is somewhere along this point, and it's super fun. On the Arizona map, it's these Native American bowls you have to find. But Kev, if we get in there and play, it's totally the type of brain magic that we would need you for, because it's like, what the fuck are they trying to tell us here? And it's like symbols and lines, and formulas and stuff.
You guys are always good at that.
Solve a mystery.
You guys are always good at that in anytime we played Sea of Thieves. Like, you guys will get the next clue, and I usually just run around killing skeletons or like counting our bananas on
we
the
need
ship
those guys,
while you
John.
guys do all the heavy lifting. I know. I'm just like,
you also keep the sails set perfectly at all times.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, you want to have someone on lookout, make sure your vessel doesn't get nicked.
I love that game.
Yeah.
I don't know why we pretend we don't like it, but it's fun as fuck.
We had a little fun in Tetris Effect. We haven't played that in a while. That was a nice little...
I could play that again, like, right now.
Puzzle gaming scratch that itch. That was nice. I got a new game for VR that I only put a half hour or an hour into. It's an old one. It's called Robinson the Journey, and it's about a kid who is the only survivor of his kind of like life raft from a spaceship. And so he's on this planet that has dinosaur life, and I befriend a baby T-Rex when I land, and then he's like my buddy throughout the game. He follows me and helps me solve puzzles. Pretty cool.
Is he big? Is he big?
And... Right now he's an adolescent. He's like an adolescent, so he's like horse size.
That's still fucking.
So kind of small.
Horse-sized T-Rex.
Yeah. So that was pretty fun.
I know they make cute pets when they're babies, but the T-Rexes grow up to be very dangerous animals.
Yeah, I won't stick around too long. Or I hope the game... What if the game makes me like Old Yeller him? Oh my god.
I think he would Old Yeller you or anything if he gets to be that
My
big.
human's gone bad.
My humans are so much smarter than T-Rexes, though. We could figure it out.
Is this based off like the Lost in Space property if your name is Robinson?
Yeah, it's not. I'm not Will Robinson. I thought the same thing when I fired it up.
Say it's only a matter of time.
Surely
before they
based
get a
on, though.
Cease and desist for that.
What are you guys playing? Any highlights from the week? Anything you think folks should check out?
I hit max level in Demio.
Yeah, you did. And
you 45 in Demio.
And you played with Mike Tyson. We got to talk about that.
Did play Demio with Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Did we talk about that?
We haven't talked about it yet. So congratulations on reaching max level. That's 45, and that requires I don't know how many hours.
45 games.
At least 45.
I'm guessing I probably did it in
games.
about 50 hours, probably.
Yeah. And so as you've been playing, you and I, we played with a couple from South Africa, which was super cool. We're running into...
Did you play with the Antword?
No. Oh, how did we not bring them up,
Got
Joel?
that Neff squad.
It's Zeph. How did we not bring that up? How did we not bring up the fucking Antword? We should have...
side represent.
Yeah, we should have asked about them. See if they
Chappy there?
Go to the same grocery store or something. No, they were a really polite couple, and we had a lot of fun. But they were fucking nothing. They were boring compared to some of the people Super Shark's been running into in Demio. Joel, tell us a story, man.
Well, listen. If I was anyone that knows me, I would assume this is bullshit. But
we all do.
Just it's more fun if you try to believe it. I'll just
like Christianity.
Yeah, like Christianity. Like, dude, we're drinking blood this Sunday. Who's gonna be there? But I got in. It was me. It's been a while, so I have to remember. It was me. It was like I want to say a middle school kid and a high school know-it-all kind of nerd boy. And then a gentleman who said, "This is the first time I'm playing this shit. Don't scream at me. I don't know what the fuck to do." And we said, "Well, don't worry, man. We'll walk you through it," and all this stuff. He kept saying it. "Don't scream at me or I'll fucking leave this game, man. I don't care about this fit." And he kept saying "fit" over and over and over and over again.
Your impression is really good, by the way.
Well, thanks. I've had a weird opportunity to work on it. And so we were playing, and it was probably, we got through the first level. I think we were trying to beat the boss at the end of the second level. And so I want to say it was probably an hour and a half, maybe longer. And I just was like, "Dude, you sound a lot like Mike Tyson." And he's like, he goes, there's a pause, and he goes, "That's because I am Mike Tyson." And I assumed, I didn't know what to think, because like my brain, all kinds of bells and whistles are going off of like, oh my god, I'm playing with Mike Tyson. And then the other thing is like, dude, this is the internet, and all you're doing is listening to some guy's voice.
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson is a pretty easy to impersonate person, but he had this certain gravelly older black man like essence to it, which that's kind of what made me really believe it probably was him. And
yeah, I mean, there's no other black guys with gravelly voices. You're right.
Well, I just feel like the type of person that would really dedicate themselves to telling a group after an hour and a half of spending time with them that they're Mike Tyson is probably not an older black man.
Okay,
right?
I understand what you're saying. It's hard to fake the age in a voice. You know what I mean? Like,
it's also just a weird thing to, unless he just straight shot that answer, and has probably been asked that maybe 100 times in his life. Are you Mike Tyson? Or you sound like Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
And he was ready for it, and that's why it came across so earnestly. But regardless, first, the funniest thing too was the youngest kid, the middle school kid, had no idea who Mike Tyson was.
Idiot.
And he kept. I forget what I told you, John, but he kept saying shit to him like, it's your turn, man. It's your turn.
It's like, dude,
it's your turn, man.
Leave Mike alone. He'll go when he's ready. God damn it.
Yeah.
Don't ruin this for us, you know?
The conversation was like, dude, so you play video games? And it was like, I love this shit, man. I love this shit. I've always loved this shit. And he was talking about how he got into VR and how Punch-Out was something that he always wanted to do. I want everybody to have the chance to fight Mike Tyson. That's where Punch-Out came from. I used to play Punch-Out with Mario. I want them to play with Mike Tyson. And it was like...
There's that he jumped from that game back to Punch-Out. That's really not him.
You don't think so?
Like, it's part of his love for video games.
Yeah.
So, like the two games he played is the one that's got his name on it, that his name got taken off of to the stream yet. Come on.
I thought his name got taken off. What I should have asked him about was Street Fighter 2, where Balrog was initially supposed to be Mike Tyson, and then something did happen, and they removed his name.
He looks like
that was around the time of all the raping, maybe.
Yeah,
I did not know that they ever were even talks to license Mike Tyson for that. I always just thought Balrog was going to be the knockoff Mike Tyson.
So
either way, I talked to him for a while, and we beat the Queen, and we talked about how we were a great team.
What got him in trouble in the first place?
All right, there you go. Beat the Queen. But yeah, so I got off thinking, like, really, like, I think that was Mike Tyson. It just felt so genuine.
Yeah.
And for someone to sit on a lie like that, or even a joke or a gaffe like that, for, at this point, 2.5, maybe even 3 hours, that to me was like, that's a big commitment.
Some unnatural
older
dedication.
black man.
Yeah.
He's playing VR with at least two people that are children, you know?
Yeah.
So I believed it was Mike Tyson. Oh, and then I looked up his gamer tag, because his gamer tag was NY.
Whoa, don't dox him out right here on the podcast.
I'm not doxing him out. I won't give it all, but it had NY in it, and it had
85.
85. Thank you, Kev. And that was his first
heavyweight belt.
That was his first official, like, professional fight or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but I think you could get that information on the internet too.
Oh, for sure, probably, I imagine. Yeah. But then once again, Kevin, that means there's a guy who kind of sounds like Mike Tyson, who's not actively like. I feel like if you sound like a celebrity, John, give me another celebrity that's not Mike Tyson that might play video games.
Maybe Woody Allen.
John Connery's dead.
I was doing most impersonated.
Woody, I can't do
John
Woody
Goodman.
Allen.
John Goodman.
But it would be like someone. It would be like someone going on and not being Billy Crystal, but really pushing that they're Billy Crystal. That would make more sense to me. Because in the early days of Xbox Live, people used to do that shit all the time. People used to get and like joke around and
voice modulators and stuff too.
But if you're doing Mike Tyson has such a distinctive voice, if you're doing a Mike Tyson impression, you don't necessarily need to be like super forthcoming about I am Mike Tyson. Like you can sit on it, you wait for someone to ask you because it's such a distinct.
I think
you're doing an impression the whole time.
If I was to flex my skeptic muscles, I would say it's a guy who naturally sounds like Mike Tyson. He's an older gentleman. He's heard about it his whole life. So and he's obviously a Mike Tyson fan if he's that closely associated with him, whether he likes him or not.
Yeah.
Which would be why he knows, maybe why he picked the gamer tag that he did. And then when he was asked about it and was talking about it, he's played video. This guy's clearly a gamer, so this is not the first time he's had this conversation. And so I was maybe pulled into his psychosis. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to say I played a 3-hour role-playing fantasy game with Iron Mike Tyson, you know?
Pretty
just
cool.
Because it's fun. And he didn't accept my friend request for everyone that's asking. Well, did you friend request him? Yeah.
No,
We gotta get him on the phone.
No,
We gotta get him on the horn. Find out.
My big question is, why didn't you record?
Why didn't I record?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know I could record. You can record clips.
Yeah. All it would have taken was some clips of him talking, and then we all could have
What are you
saying behind your question, John? What do you really want to ask?
Is this bullshit?
It's he opened with, if anybody who knows me would know that this is most likely some bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had
is that what you're saying, John? Or are you calling this bullshit?
Well, let's all vote. Do we think it was really Mike Tyson? I actually vote yes. I do think it was, because I talked to you right after, Joel, and it was like, I don't know. I guess if you were fooled, then you would have really believed it. So that's not really.
And
evidence.
listen. I'm the most naive person ever. If Carl tells his camping story and anything is alluding to Bigfoot, I'm fully believing that Carl's the chosen one by our wilder gods.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you're not so much naive as you are. You basically said it. It's just more fun if you kind of pretend that you believe this actually happened.
Yeah.
So I don't think even you quite believe that it happened. I think it's just like, yeah, that was a fun memory that I can kind of have.
Might as well go with it. Yeah, it happened.
Yeah. So I'm voting no, not Mike Tyson. No.
Yeah.
We know factually that Jordan actually has the VR, Joel actually has the VR capabilities. He's got the system. He's not just like totally day tripping. The whole thing isn't fabricated.
No, like I'm just in my own living room, like
yeah.
Stevie Wonder in my own experience. You know what?
Piece of a pizza box duct taped to his head. Honey, we got some cardboard taped to his face. Honey, get in here. I'm playing with Mike Tyson.
Come in here. Don Cheadle's playing Tetris Effect.
I'm more inclined to believe that you played with Don Cheadle than I am with that you played with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I think it was just Don Cheadle doing a Mike Tyson impersonation.
Well, somebody was asking me about the story, and then they had a very... does the name Rick Pickerington ring a bell for you, Kevin?
No.
He's an NFL player.
Okay.
Someone was telling me how they had played VR with him, and I was like, oh, celebrities play video games, and Oculus is one of those Wild West experience where you don't have a lot of private protection, like... Demi is a great example. You have to talk to people. Walkabout Golf's the same way. If you join a random Walkabout Golf, you're talking to people, you know?
Demi more so than Walkabout. Walkabout, you can just take your turn.
Yeah, Walkabout, yeah. Mike Tyson, is he, would you say, one of the 10 most famous people on the planet?
No.
Madonna.
No? I think Mike
Beyonce,
Tyson's more than Madonna.
Jay-Z.
I think Mike Tyson more than Madonna, too.
Well, I guess it depends on the context, too.
Yeah,
because
are you talking like historical figures and shit?
That
just
fifth grader
celebrities.
didn't know who he was.
Historical people, too, but also, like, there's a whole Bollywood scene that a billion people know who the top Bollywood actor is.
True.
That you have no idea who they are, so relative to that...
India doesn't count.
We're not counting them.
You know, the good Western famous people who matter.
Yeah.
Smithsonian did this, and it was... they did an article on it, and I listened to a podcast about it, and they were saying that Mickey Mouse and Superman are the two most universally recognized characters anywhere
That's
you
bullshit
go.
That Mickey Mouse is still getting away with. What's Mickey Mouse done? What's that fucker done in the past?
Dude, his new
20
cartoons
years?
are hilarious.
He's got new cartoons.
Yeah,
Mickey has new
there's
cartoons?
new shit. The Mickey Mouse Fun House or whatever, Joel. What's that thing called?
I don't watch the Funhouse. I watch the Ren and Stimpy Mickey Mouse cartoon.
Yeah, that one's really cool. They changed up the animation style. My kids like that one.
Okay, how long has that been going on?
A couple of years, probably.
Since like 2015.
Okay, so prior to that, what has Mickey Mouse done specifically that's been like, oh yeah, that's
Once
Capital
Upon a
Mickey
Christmas.
Mouse.
Once Upon a Christmas 2.
He had a
He
cameo.
did do an episode in South Park.
He had a cameo in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Sure. Yeah, but he wasn't very funny. He didn't do anything in there except for
He had a
just
scene
the
with
Mickey Mouse.
He had a scene with Bugs. Man, those two have never hung out before. I thought that was very funny.
I got another opinion. I don't think Bugs is that great either. I think Bugs is like the representative of the Looney Tunes.
No,
but-
I agree with that. Looney Tunes doesn't have the clout that they used to have.
I bet you're real fun at parties, Joe.
I love Looney Tunes, but I think Bugs is like one of the least funny Looney Tunes that comes on there. Unless he's with Elmer Fudd.
No,
he's a dickhead. He's a class clown.
He's the king, man. When he dresses up as the girl bunny and like flirts with Elmer Fudd, it's just it's a laugh riot,
funny.
man. Come on.
Sure, that's funny, but yeah.
Anyway,
we need the rest of the
Looney Tunes out.
So to go back to Kevin,
I like him with Daffy.
Who's the most famous? Who would you say are the top three most famous alive, real life people, well known around the world right now?
Hold on, hold on. What's everyone's votes right now? Like Carl, Joe, do you believe it? Do you not believe it? I'm in. Kevin says no.
I'm with Kevin that I believe the experience happened, but I don't think it was really Mike Tyson.
Okay.
I believe it was definitely Don Cheadle, but not Mike Tyson.
Okay.
That's what Dr. Phil says to people that have been abducted by aliens. I believe
I
you
vote-
believe.
I vote that it happened. I think it happened. I believe you, Joel.
There you go.
Thanks,
And I
Carl.
believe
Does chat
that
say?
was Iron Mike.
So
So we're gonna have to tie break it in chat.
yeah, chat. Let us know if you believe that my brother played for 2 hours in VR with Mike Tyson.
Iron Mike Tyson, one of the top 10 most famous people of all time.
Captain Awesome says
Of all time? No, he doesn't crack the top.
There's 7 billion people on the planet right now. You think Al
you're saying
Jolstein
all-
was getting...
You're saying of all time in all history, not all time living today?
I would say Mike Tyson is on, I want to say, definitely the top 100 of all time.
oh, easy, top 100. Yeah.
No.
No.
Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson,
How can
Tiger
you even
Woods.
say? How can you even say top 10? Because top 10, you got like God.
No,
Jesus,
yeah. I don't think we're including him.
and all of his
real
disciples.
people.
I think we're talking
And
about
then-
celebrities, you know?
Well, I mean, I couldn't
So-
recognize all of
Donald
them.
Trump's got to be up there, right, guys?
We're talking,
Unfortunately.
yes, yeah. Donald Trump is a top 5, I think.
Yeah.
We're sort of talking about people that you could show a picture and they would know who it was and have some kind of connection to what they do or
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
Then yeah, there is a lot of historical figures that would take over the top 5. Gandhi, Mother Teresa, JC.
Both
I'm
assholes.
thinking like Lincoln, Washington.
Sure, some presidents for
The,
sure.
the Queen of England.
Oh yeah, Pele.
Yeah, the Queen of England, I think,
Pele's good, John.
might be the top right now.
Yeah, she's been famous for a long time.
I think the Queen of England and Donald Trump are both top 3, but I don't know how the rest of it fills out.
Obama would be probably filling out one of those
Obama's
spots.
top,
But I think Michael
top 10, I would
Jordan's
guess.
higher up than Obama.
Why does this matter?
Michael Jordan is probably higher than Obama and Tyson, I would guess.
I don't think Jordan's higher than Obama, just based on when he was famous. People have died since then, and
Yeah, I would say Tiger.
Obama.
I would say Tiger Woods is higher on the list than Mike Tyson.
No way.
Okay.
Plus, people know now. Also, people are dead that were alive when Jordan was, at the top of his game, and people that are still alive know that he's kind of a dick now.
Yeah, I
he's
keep
less-
hearing that about him, too.
Well, you can't be at the top of the mountain and be a fucking nice guy. I'm sorry. That's how that works, I'm pretty sure, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to be a champion of a sport,
Humanity.
the best, you're not...
Well,
I mean, there's something in you that makes you get there. You're not a nice guy.
Look at Tom Hanks.
he's not
John,
as
what?
good as LeBron James, who's a pretty nice guy.
LeBron James,
Yeah.
I would say, is way more famous than Mike Tyson.
No.
I'd say that's
Okay.
yeah.
Overall,
LeBron James-
no. Right now, yes.
Let me hop in here. Captain Awesome, he says, I believe it. Fuck yeah. So tie broken. as far as this episode is concerned, I think it happened.
Wait, I thought you said the chat had to agree. You're just leaving it up to Captain Awesome?
He's the only one in here, man.
Well, all right.
The only one that
I need the other
anything
50
to say.
people to get on board. Can we put a poll in the chat? Is that a thing?
There isn't 50 people.
I don't even care. The thing is, I've had weird shit like this happen to me before, and I think it's a combination of I do have weird luck, but I also am very easy to believe something.
Joel, have you ever seen...
Some things, I should say.
Joel, in your life, have you ever seen what you believe to be a UFO?
Me and Jordan thought we saw a UFO, but it was car lights.
Are you Muldering him right now?
Yeah.
Don, me and you saw a UFO together. Me and you.
I don't know.
Uncle Steve was at our house, and he was like, "Hey guys," he was on that front porch that we never used, that door entrance of our house, our childhood home. He's like, "You guys should come look at this." And there were these lights in the sky, and they were moving forward and like catching up with each other, like
I think those were weather balloons.
swamp gas.
Swamp gas.
Michael Jackson, way more famous than Mike Tyson.
Michael Jackson's
I don't
number
like-
3.
Yeah, I don't like your use of the word way. I agree that he's more famous, but I think they are probably in the same ballpark.
Oprah?
No, I don't think so.
See, I think Jackson is more famous than Tyson, just based on the number of countries Jackson would have
Jackson's more
toured.
famous than Tyson.
He is. I agree that he is. I just don't think like he's way off in a different stratosphere or anything. Like
I
Mike
think
Tyson has a lot of international appeal and recognition.
Yeah. Donald Trump, Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson. We did it.
How about Tyson versus Conor McGregor right now in a who's more famous face-off?
How are you guys not putting
It's
Madonna
Tyson.
or Beyonce or somebody or Lady Gaga or one of those?
Queen Bee's got to be on there.
I don't think they get that high.
I would put Lady Gaga, and I think Madonna has just not been in the spotlight recently enough. Lady Gaga and Beyonce probably would crack.
Yeah.
I think Dolly Parton's probably on there.
No. We're opening this up to too many numbers. Like I need to know how far down the list we're going.
Kim
don't think-
Jong-un.
I
The
don't
most
think
famous person alive.
Kim Jong-Un
right
is a very reasonable
Donald Trump.
because
We-
everyone
that's
in
what we
North
decided.
Korea knows who he
I think
looks
it's
like.
the Queen of England.
Oh, the Queen of England, and then Donald Trump.
Johnny Carson.
I think Kim Jong-Un is a very good answer there. Unwatch 2021. How famous is
I
he?
think on the list of most recognizable, here's a photo. I think Mike Tyson realistically is like 32.
He's pretty high up there.
Yeah, but I don't think he's top 5.
And he's a hell of a gamer, guys.
He loves VR. I wonder if he had...
I think it's probably like mostly presidents and
Yeah.
queens of England at the top of the list. So if you
It's not
Hitler,
Queen. I couldn't.
like Hitler
how many
is
other
more
queens could you
globally-
recognize? There haven't been that many. Number one, but you could probably say Victoria, and then
Cleopatra,
Elizabeth, and Elizabeth too.
Queen
No,
of
I just
Hearts
mean-
from Alice.
I
in
just mean the one
Wonderland.
Queen of England gets to be listed alongside the U.S. presidents because she's
I
the
see.
ruler of the other,
Right.
English-speaking civilized country.
Western world. Yeah.
The Red Queen. You're all going to die down here.
Oh, that's one of the better queens.
So yeah, that was
Queen.
my experience playing Vimeo with Mike Tyson, and yeah, maybe I'll get hypnosis one day and I'll find out it wasn't. Or maybe I'll find that guy. That would be the best if I could find him online again. Be
You know
like,
what?
listen, dude.
I'm gonna say if you believed, Joel, if you truly believed, then it happened, man. Enjoy it.
Yeah, well, that's scary though, because there's a lot of people that believe.
What are you
in-
going to question everything in your life? I see a beautiful
Yeah, you're right.
sunset. You're like, oh, I don't know. Is it that good? Is it the top 5 sunset? Maybe I should wait till tomorrow.
Saw Jerry Springer at a bar once.
Talking him into believing this was Mike Tyson. This is
Wait, did you really see Jerry Springer at a
ridiculous,
bar once?
dangerous.
I saw Jerry Springer at a bar in Chicago once. He was sitting at the bar. I didn't
I'll
talk to
believe
him or
that.
anything.
What game did you
Yeah,
guys
I'll,
play?
talk
I'll
to
believe
him or
that.
anything.
I'll bite.
I've had beers on multiple occasions with Drew Lachey of 98 Degrees. I think we've all talked about that before.
Sure.
Drew or Nick?
Nick Lachey?
No, Drew.
No,
Just
the
count Nick.
brother. Yeah.
I would believe that since you said Drew. That
Oh,
sounds very
I
entertaining.
saw Cher walk by a door
Let's do
at
this.
the Nutter Center. I was playing dodgeball, intramural dodgeball, and she had a concert that night, and they were shuffling her in. and it looked like this fucking peacock monsters just walked by. She had feathers and shit on, and it was.
I don't even believe that.
There's Cher.
Yeah.
Hey guys, there was Cher.
Believe.
Let's do
John
this.
met AJ Styles once.
It's true.
Backstreet Boys
No.
and Lou Ferrigno.
Backstreet Boys.
Oh, the
AJ
rest-
Styles of the
the rest-
Backstreet
No,
Boys.
let's do this. Let's go around and everybody just
And he got,
name the most famous person that you've like
Interacted with.
met, or, like, and not like shouting out of a car, but like met. You know what I mean? Like, hello, I like your work, and you were able to say something to them or whatever. I'll go first. I think mine is Adam West.
Oh fuck yeah!
And
John.
that was at a con, and I've told this story before, but I was the only person to wait in this huge line and not have something to sign because it would have costed $300 or whatever. I was like, I just want to get close to him and shake his hand and meet him, and I did, and then he was pretty out of it because he was a million years old. I don't think he really cared about meeting me, but I met him, and I think that was my most famous person I met.
John, you didn't hear the eulogy? Remember that day in Columbus, Ohio?
No,
he unnamed man.
He looked at me and I was like, hey, sorry, I don't have anything to sign. I was mostly talking to his handler, a young guy with him, helping him out, and I was like, hey,
his name is Robin.
Alfred, actually.
Alfred.
Yeah.
my handler Robin.
But I was like, yeah, I don't have anything to sign. I'm on a budget today. I just wanted to say, me and my brothers love you. We love all like everything you've done. You're my Batman. We had the VHS tapes growing up, and we used to beat those things up. And I just want to say thank you. And he says, you don't got anything to sign? He says, some days you just can't get rid of a fan. And then, yeah, so that's a line from the Batman movie, but he says bomb. Anyways, Kevin, who's the most famous person you met?
I think it's probably Maurice Claret, in terms of like having a real interaction with somebody. He was at Studio 35, 2019, I want to say, for the Michigan game. So they played on the big screen there, and he was promoting, or he was selling his book and trying to raise money for some organization he works with, I think, like coaching youth sports or something like that. And so I'm ordering a beer, and I see him across the thing, and I didn't realize there was like an event at first, so I just thought like, holy shit, that's Maurice Claret, and I told Allison, and I just got really starstruck, like all at once. And then I kind of saw the table and like, oh, he's like doing a thing here.
Yeah.
It was cool though, because I like to wear the number 13 Maurice Claret jersey on big game days, and that's not a popular jersey anymore. When he had his kind of falling out with the university, there was a lot of like merchandise getting pulled off the shelves.
Okay.
You just don't see a lot of number 13s around, so I'm wearing one. I'm probably the only one in the theater that's wearing it, and we had a little, just a little moment where I told him like, hey, big fan or whatever, and he said that he has a special place in his heart for people that still wear number 13. And yeah. And then I think later I went back and like got a second poster or something so I could give it to my brother. And I just said like, thanks for like doing this. It's really fun meeting you and stuff. And he said, my dude. And I was like, yeah, it's Maurice Claret.
Nice.
Good. That's great.
Carl or Joe, what do you guys got?
There was the one time that I went camping, and I was playing Burger Time, and Bigfoot walked in, and then I played Burger Time with Bigfoot.
Gigantopithecus?
Hopefully you had your original. Hopefully you had your original Xbox Duke controller for those Yeti hands of his. He needs a big controller, yeah.
No, that was probably the day that John and I went to the Comic-Con, and we met AJ Styles, although I was like way too high, and like John met him, and I was just like, oh.
I felt like such a dick.
Yeah, man, I did give him the too sweet. But the photo is, you can't see it. It's hanging behind me back there.
Yeah.
But there's way more space between
Listen.
me and AJ Styles than John and AJ Styles.
Listen.
But later, that's my fault. I smoked.
No,
that one.
I was gonna say it was the cutest thing because Carl was like full starstruck, and stoned, so it was like a whole mixture of like, what do we do? Where do
happening?
What do we do with our hands? Where do we stand? I don't, you know what I mean? Like
pockets, not pockets, behind the back. What are we doing?
I think we had eaten some brownies that day, Carl.
Yeah, we did.
I bet AJ Styles had too.
To get through that, I bet he did. Kill me now. How many people do I have to fucking shake hands with and get a photo with?
Later on, I just saw by himself at his booth Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and I went over and had a conversation with him and told him how much
that's cool.
I appreciated him, and like I grew up watching you, and he had me give him an oh with my thumb up and everything. And he had pieces of wood that he was signing and selling to people.
That's cool.
And it was great. And then I saw AJ Styles again, and he was hitting on a bunch of mermaids.
Yep, that was the brownie for sure.
I think it was at that.
No, that's real. There was a booth of women dressed up like mermaids, and I saw AJ over there.
I think it was the same.
Something smells a little fishy over here.
Love me some mermaids. Hey, how's it going, ladies?
I think it was at the same Comic-Con, but I met Kevin Nash. No one was at his booth, and I went over there, and I was just like, "Hey, my friends are really into you, and I've seen you in a couple movies." And
hey, I like John Wick. I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 and Magic Mike.
I always think of Grandma's
40-year-old Bert. Oh yeah, Grandma's boy.
Hold on.
For money.
Yeah. What's the line though? I can't remember.
She'll massage your cock for money.
I know, but then what does he shout back or whatever? I forget it.
Yeah, that I remember as being the payoff. The roommate isn't paying. He isn't sending the rent checks. Yeah. Instead, he's cashing them, and he's addicted to massages and whatever. And
and then Kevin Nash is like, yeah, that's called being a whore, and then he screams back to him. He's like, you're a whore or something like that. Yeah, or something. I don't know.
Yes, you're right. It's
parlor. Massage your cock for money.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good.
That's the line.
Yeah.
And then
I got it nailed down.
I met Rookie of the Year as well.
He did the turtle. He did the turtles, and then after he's a pro wrestler, so they don't have insurance. So he did the turtles and got his Screen Actors Guild insurance.
Okay.
And has done subsequently at least one like film or television appearance every year after, just so that he could keep his Screen Actors Guild health insurance.
His SAG card.
Yeah.
He was Shredder in the TMNT, right?
He was the Super Shredder.
Super Shredder. Yeah.
In 2. So yeah, he was only there for like 30 seconds.
Speaking of which, today is National Turtle Day. Just coincidentally.
That sounds made up as hell.
We watched the third Ninja Turtle movie. That movie fucking sucks.
Yeah,
as a jumping off point, why would you start with that one?
Yeah, that's the time travel one.
Yeah, that one's rough.
Yeah, shouldn't watch that. One and 2 are solid, and then the
really holds up.
And I'll say this: they're not good movies, but those Michael Bay movies are fun. Just CG explosion in your eyes.
The Michael Bay Ninja Turtle movies?
Those are fun. Especially the second one, because they have Krang, and Krang has his suit, like the... Yeah, that's good times.
That's what I wanted out of the first one, was like, why did you wait to bring Krang into the second one? What were you trying to prove with having, like,
you gotta do Shredder first, man.
Yeah, but he became like a Transformer Shredder in the first one, and that's where you should have had the big Krang spot. I don't know. You waited to bring in Rocksteady and Bebop, too.
I mean, the whole time, Michael Bay was just worried about making out with Megan Fox or whatever, so I wouldn't worry too much about it.
You mean April O'Neil?
Yeah.
Not a great O'Neil.
Yeah.
My famous people, to jump back to the topic again, probably pretty similar. I've met a couple of professional wrestlers who have come to town. But the only one, so I guess on my list of that, when I say a couple, Brett the Hitman Hart, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who was very accommodating in terms of like.
What's his name? Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
Yep. He came to murderer.
No.
Who am I thinking of?
Jimmy Snuka.
Yes. Okay. Superfly.
Yeah, no, I didn't meet him. This guy came to a Clippers game the same way that Kevin from The Office came to a Clippers game, and so did the Soup Nazi. You just stand in line and get to go up and meet them and maybe ask a question or two. So I met him, but then met Jake the Snake Roberts, and
Nice.
I was very, very scared about Jake the Snake because he's a giant man, even though he's older. He's still like 6'5" and has a terrible raspy voice that would scare you shitless.
You went
But,
to
Mick Foley-
you went to the evening with or whatever,
Yep.
the one man show.
I went
yeah.
to the Funny Bone, yep. But the one that I actually met and got to ask a question to would be Mick Foley. Got to talk to him about the smelly markers that he had to sign his autographs with.
Okay.
That's something he brought up like before he was signing. He's like, these markers are very potent, so watch out, everyone. And then when I got up there, I didn't have anything great to say, so I was just like, boy, Mick, those are some smelly markers, right?
That's the way to handle. That's the way to handle bumping into somebody you see as a celebrity. Because I freak out. I get too nervous to say anything cool, or I don't know what to say. I just get too starstruck.
Yeah,
I mean,
feel like
I'm sure they've heard everything I could possibly think of anyway. So I just said, "Yep."
Yeah, I feel like I feel like he would remember you more than anyone else that night because everyone else is probably like, "Oh, remember the time you got thrown off the Hell in a Cell by Undertaker?" It's like, God damn it, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I hear,
Yeah.
Can I
hear
see
about that
yourself?
1,000 times a day.
Yeah.
But when I did go to the Jake concert, though, he did an audience Q&A, and he did answer one of my questions. And I don't remember the answer to my question, unfortunately. But my
Do you
question
remember
was...
the question? Oh.
Yes, it was, besides yourself, who do you think has the best DDT ever? And he said it was some Japanese lady that he couldn't remember the name of. So I guess I kind of remembered the name.
That's cool.
The answer.
Some insider info.
Yeah.
The most famous person I actually met.
Mike Tyson, bro.
Well, I didn't meet Mike Tyson. I
The
talked
Queen
to him
of
on-
England.
You hung out with him for a long time. That's
Donald
like basically
no.
meeting him, man.
David
No, it
Bowie.
was Chris Rock.
Okay.
What?
So I was in the Bahamas on my first honeymoon.
And you were alone, and no one else was around that we know to corroborate this. Go on.
Okay, no one pokes shit at anyone else's stories.
All of ours are believable.
Can I go?
I have ticket stubs to prove mine.
Yeah, I apologize. Go ahead, Joel.
We had just traveled in, and we ordered a pizza from Domino's. And I'm standing out in front of the gate of this resort that we were staying. It was a very nice resort. And a limousine pulls up, and I'm just kind of like standing,
Waiting for that pie, baby.
And then, just after the limousine pulls up, here comes the pizza man. And I get the pizza, and out of the limousine comes Chris Rock and his like entourage. And he looks at me, and he looks at the pizza, and he goes, "Domino's in the Bahamas," and then walks off. That was my Chris. That was my Chris Rock interaction.
I like that.
And then I was with John Hill for this one, and we met Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad and Mandalorian, and
He did that
he
song.
plays the bad guy and everything now.
He did that song, You're the Best Around.
No, that's Joe Piscopo.
It's Joe Esposito, I think.
Oh,
Anyways,
is it? Anyway.
maybe they're related.
But I did the same thing at a Con John where I went up and I was like, "Hey, I'm just a big fan. I don't have anything," and he was a complete asshole.
Yeah. Lou
He was
Ferrigno was
"So
like,
so he goes, "What do you want to do? Are we going to talk?"
yeah,
And I was like,
Lou Ferrigno Lou Ferrigno did the same thing at a con. I was just like, dude, I think you're the shit. And he's like,
"You don't want me to sign
he's
anything?
like, get the fuck out of here.
I was signing something for
Yeah,
you."
yeah. He's trying to make money. He's not worried about meeting people.
That was a fun segment, guys.
Wait, I wanted to give some honorable mentions that I thought I mine with
Okay.
only wrestlers.
Yes.
I met the author of a book series, a YA author. You guys remember the book, The Plant That Ate Dirty Socks?
Sure.
Is this a same
sounds
author as my
familiar.
teacher ate my homework?
It was kind of along the same time.
The clock in the walls?
No, it was much earlier than whatever that is.
Was it R.L. Stein? Was it Goosebumps?
No. Her name was Nancy MacArthur, and I met her at a local bookstore that my mom took me to because she had the inside track because she was a teacher. Mm-hmm. My mom peed with her, apparently, and then there were like 8 people in the audience, so it sounds like that tracks with what you guys know of the Plant That Ate Dirty Socks. But then I also met the band Edema.
Oh my God, Jonathan Davis's brother?
I think half brother, but yeah, they had the one track in the early 2000s.
It was basically the Princess of the Damned. What was the Aaliyah vampire movie?
Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned, and Edema was on like half of that soundtrack. New metal is the genre. Yeah.
Yep. So that was great. No, met them at Sam Ash in Columbus, Ohio on the day that I think they were third from the top. Headlining was Disturbed, and then just under them, shit, I've just forgotten. But it was Edema was there, and then Disturbed were there.
Edema.
Yeah.
Joel, do your
Drowning Pool was the second from the top. There we go.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
The original Drowning Pool before that guy died.
Joel, the chat is requesting the Lou Ferrigno impression again. What would Lou Ferrigno say if he ran into the lead singer of Edema from Queen of the Damned fame?
I heard you guys have great music. Because he can't hear.
There you go. You're welcome.
Is that Lou Ferrigno or is that Corky from...
Oh, no. Obladi, oblada. Wow.
I just want to be a normal person. We should move on. We are really breaking barriers tonight.
Carl, you missed all the racial humor we did earlier at the head of the episode, too.
Don was saying how black people can't swim.
No, I wasn't. It's a well-known stereotype, so, and I, of course, was just joking. I know black people that can swim.
Statistically,
his name's Tyler.
John said that he used to be a lifeguard and he would just let black people drown when they got into trouble.
No, I didn't say that.
He thought that was funny.
No.
It's horrible.
Yeah, John, it's fucking horrible.
I didn't say it.
I used to lifeguard with John.
No, that was a thought crime is enough.
John was either sunburned or pissed off all the time when he was a lifeguard.
Listen, man, I was so vigilant. I was so terrified of having someone get hurt on my watch. Okay. I think I was a good lifeguard. I was
You're
a
good swimmer.
Well, I was like, I was so nervous about like, what if I had to give someone CPR and I blow it somehow? And
you're supposed to blow it, actually.
Well, I know,
and
but
compress it.
Okay.
What if you break their xiphoid process?
I think that's a good thing if you do it. That means you're doing it right. Right, Joel?
Not if it floats down and they die.
No, listen.
What?
I was so nervous about having to use my training that I was all about prevention. And so I was just like, eagle eye, hey, you're walking kind of fast, slow it down, or, hey, no horseplay.
Oh, you were the dick lifeguard.
Mm-hmm.
He was the dick
lifeguard. I didn't care because
not because you were a dick, but you were so scared.
No,
he was the dick lifeguard that when all the people were out of the pool, he was the one doing gainers off the lifeguard chair into the pool.
Okay,
that's a dick.
That's a badass lifeguard move, man. With the sunnies still on as I rotate backwards. No,
yeah, dropping it into a 4-foot pool.
No, I just didn't want any kids to die. I was too afraid.
Yeah.
I would have to meet their
That's
family.
the black kid, right, John?
Well, I wouldn't have to meet their family if that kid died. Because no. We have one more topic on the list here. Joe, you had a grandfather die?
Well, wait. Yeah, I did. But before we get to that, more importantly,
it's organic conversation.
I want to go back to a topic we talked about on the pre-pod, something that I wrote down and meant to circle back to. Kevin said that Crash was the worst movie to be nominated or to win the Best Picture.
I believe that to be true. Yes,
I believe that. I've looked it up to see all the winners, and I believe The Hurt Locker is worse than Crash.
You're crazy. You are out of your mind. That movie is fun and interesting and not Crash. So, yeah, disagree.
Is that the Baby Hawkeye movie, or is that Jarhead?
That's Hawkeye looking for bombs.
Okay.
And PTSD,
Yeah.
a lot of PTSD stuff in that movie.
No, it's Lethal Weapon.
Did magic
Meets
fingers
Iraq.
for that.
Yeah.
PTSD.
Yeah,
may
like,
not be real.
Some of that shell shock, they used to call it.
Shell shock.
Dude, Hurt Locker is a good movie. I like that movie.
But so my argument is that it's a fun movie in the same sense that Lethal Weapon is a fun movie, but I think it's supposed to be like a good, serious, like, oh, this is what war is movie, and it's not that at all. So I think for that reason,
because you served in the war in Afghanistan and you know this, or like, what are you saying?
yeah, I need to know this because I know that just bomb diffusers get to work like a desperado, like that guy did. No, it's
What is it, Joe?
Crazy, and it's a not an accurate depiction of what that guy would have done. And
Is it Ethan Hawke at an intersection in downtown fucking New York calling another adult Terrence Howard I think he uses like some seriously outdated racial slurs, like calls him like a jungle bunny or like Oogie Boogie. Like it's the writing is so detached in Crash. Like it's not even it's like even a racist cop that hates black people would watch that movie and be like, no, I'm not buying this. This is bullshit. Like, this is not how this works. We were talking about it earlier. Crash was written by only white people and only white people who have never hung out with black people, and they didn't consult any African American on, hey, what would a like crazy racial interaction, a racially charged interaction with a police officer look like? What would that look like? And they had no consultants. Crash sucks balls. And fuck the Academy Award too, right? Like, so like, there's that too.
The whole thing
wasn't that a big upset? Who was supposed to win that year?
Let's see.
Crash
what was
Locker?
No, let's see.
It was a big upset.
2004 or
Yeah.
something like
What
that.
else was nominated when Crash won? Let's see.
Is everyone looking up right now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2004 Best Picture nominees: Seabiscuit, Master and Commander, Lord of the Rings, Mystic Grip. It wasn't 2004.
Probably Lord of the Rings was supposed to win, and it eventually did, but I think everyone wanted
2005 then?
Let's see.
79th annual, so yeah, 2006. For 2005. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Crash.
Or it would have
we
made
had-
sense since
we had
Brokeback
Munich.
Mountain won Best Director for that.
That was the one that was the upset. It was Munich, Good Night and Good Luck, Brokeback Mountain, and Capote. And I believe the upset was Brokeback Mountain, if I remember correct.
It was too early. People weren't ready for gay cowboys yet.
That movie is really fucking good.
I still haven't
I don't
seen
care what
it.
anybody says.
Yeah, I still need to watch it.
John, let's
I
come over
cry
and have
at
a
it.
watch party, because
I
I
have
still
no
haven't
problem.
seen it either.
Okay.
I haven't seen it 3, so we could all get together and like get into our underpants and just lather each other up.
Get in the bathtub with some fruit.
We'll
There you go, buddy.
We'll all wear chaps and cool like flannel shirts and cowboy hats.
Do a cowboy party
Carl
and get
has-
all your friends excited for a cowboy party and then play Brokeback Mountain.
Carl, have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, you're in. You're watching it.
How?
We'll
Let's do it.
we'll drink whiskey and
Yep.
and
And Manhattans.
we're gonna dress up as cowboys and we're gonna do this.
We'll just wear chaps.
Dude,
Assless.
John, you should set up a projector in your backyard and have a fire going and make a big thing out of it. Get hay bales for people to sit on and shit.
Well, I have neighbors, and there's I don't want to. No, I'm
The
not
pretty
doing that.
aggressive spit and jerk scene.
No, my neighbors would come over and be like, "So why are we doing this?" I'd be like, "We haven't seen it. We figured we'd go all in, and there's a podcast no one listens to that we'll have to
But,
talk
hey,
about on. It's gonna be great."
Listen.
Like,
That would make
yeah.
for some good pod, just me hearing you guys had watched Brokeback Mountain in your backyard.
You
On
might
a
you might
10-foot
find out that your neighbors come over and want to get a JO going on. Who knows?
Yeah.
Some wife swapping or
Well,
something.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't he spit on his hand to jay him off in that movie?
There's a big old J-off scene in
Yeah.
the tent.
Which is the better spit JO scene, that one or 8 Mile?
8 Mile for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I worked at FedEx, I always thought about like fucking a Brittany
See the
Murphy
other one?
while I was like in a factory setting. I always thought that would be cool to have sex in like an industrial factory.
Well, you
kinda-
can't do that now. She's been dead for a
Brittany
couple of
Murphy.
years.
Well, and
He's
I'm married.
mummified. Yeah.
I like that. That's what is also dissuaded you. Is I can't fuck dead Brittany Murphy. I'm married. Yeah, no good.
That's the reason why.
Yeah. Otherwise, where's my shovel?
Shovel.
Dig
No,
up.
I need to see now what the Hurt Locker was up against that year. Everyone look that up too.
We have it
Who
right
can
in
play
front
the
of us.
fastest?
Yeah.
What was the Hurt Locker year?
2009.
Yeah. What was it up against? What did it beat?
It wasn't 2009.
It was 2010.
2000.
That's how we started talking about Matt Dillon.
Hurt Locker won in 2009.
Okay, so
the
it's
82nd.
the Avatar.
Yeah.
It is. It's 2010. It was Avatar up. God damn. It's two
Blindside.
bangers right there. Precious. Blindside, Education, A Serious Man. Up in the Air. District 9. Inglorious Bastards. Man, that was a stacked year.
How did-
I'm going to say that the Hurt Locker is the biggest robbery because it had any of those other films are better than the Hurt Locker.
You're
win.
right. He's right.
I
Joe's
vote.
right.
Yeah.
Well, he could be right about the Crash maybe not being the biggest upset, but it's still the worst movie to win.
We're talking about Hurt Locker now.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
saying, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm saying
I agree.
Crash is still the worst movie to win, even though it wasn't as big an upset because there wasn't great competition.
Yeah. I like that for a movie to win an Academy Award, it has to deal with racial issues, mental illness,
Equality in the workplace.
a war, yeah, I don't get it. Like,
Which one of these would you guys have picked for Best Picture versus the Hurt Locker if you had your druthers?
a good
Me
question.
personally, or if I was on the Academy?
You personally, just which of these is your favorite?
what does that mean? Like, you want to keep your job or something, or?
Well,
No,
I
just
think
if you're
The
selecting
Blind
Best
Side
Picture.
should have won. It's remembered as a better film than The Hurt Locker.
My pick.
But is that your favorite film, Joel?
If I would love to have seen Inglourious Bastards win because it would have changed the way. Like,
Okay.
I can't wait I want a horror film to win an Oscar. Like, that would be a really cool thing to happen. Like, Get Out
or,
was probably the closest we got to that.
or Us, or what was the other one called?
Us was a turd.
That movie's
No.
fun. You're wrong.
Up? Are you talking about do you have them in front of you, or
Yeah, I would go.
Up or Up in the Air are both on the list of Serious Man, Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire,
Now I'm looking at
Inglorious
it.
Bastards. Okay.
I would go Inglorious Bastards
District 9.
or District 9. I really like
District 9 would be my other pick, yeah.
I never saw Crash, and I never knew that it was so bad. But I'm just like looking at a wall right now
It's
of like
it's
of, like,
insulting
big
to the
pieces
cause. You know what I
on-
mean?
It feels
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it
yeah.
came out of a factory. that
out of
makes-
touch. Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't watch it.
Yeah,
I mean, don't watch.
out of
Like,
this-
it's not even fun bad. Like, it's just like, don't
No.
watch it. Yeah.
It's like annoying, like, this is dribble bad. Out of this list, myself, I would go A Serious Man. That's actually a Coen Brothers movie that I don't think
I like.
gets enough respect.
I like
but,
that movie. Yeah.
It's so every sentence that the main character says is so understated and just the whole.
He's a closeted homosexual. Is that true in the movie?
No, I don't think he's just got a weird relationship with his wife, who's
He's
now
cheating on her, right? With
No, she's cheating on him. They're not cheating anymore. She's like marrying another guy who he
Okay.
works with and was friends with Cy Abelman.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. There's and then but like before the movie, there's like a 2 or 3 minute short film that has nothing to do with the movie. That's just kind of there. It's like a weird
And
Coen
it's
Brothers
got
thing.
who's the main actor guy in it? The King's Speech guy. What's his name? That's a
don't
different
think
guy.
So yeah, I don't remember. the
Richard
name of that.
Kine's in it.
Yeah, Richard Yeah, the main guy. I don't know really. what
Michael
else he's
Stuhlbarg.
in.
Michael
Yeah.
Shawbrag. He's been in stuff. Anyways, Coen Brothers.
Anyways.
Coen Brothers all day. I recently watched The Ballad for Buster Scruggs, and it's so fun.
God damn, that's a wonderful film.
Yeah. Joe, your grandfather died.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to distract with all that movie talk about my terrible sadness.
What movie character of
Did
all
you get?
time?
Is that how you got the PS4? Was in his will?
Oh yeah, Carl wanted to talk to you about your
wish.
PS4 as well. That's right.
Oh yeah, no, I just finally got the PS4 hooked up. I've had it for a little while now, but I'm actively playing Spider-Man, and it's going pretty well.
Are you blown away by the visuals? I mean, this is like the first current, or I should say last gen now, but basically current gen
Most
graphics.
current gen.
And that game is applauded as pulling some trickery off for the eyes, some eye candy. Are you noticing this? Do you give a shit? Do you just look at the mini map and just go to the glowing star so that you can start the next cutscene, or talk to us?
No, I mean, it definitely looks good. It's seems like it's a pretty accurate representation of New York on the map, because you have to go take pictures of literal places in New York. So it looks good. It moves around like similar to Arkham Batman, but like way smoother, because you were able to web sling versus throw a grappling hook and have to jump here and glide here. So that's obviously cleaner. It's just very fun to play.
Have you
unlocked?
Oh, Joel, I literally was going to say the exact same thing. What suits have you unlocked?
How many suits? So I haven't bought too many suits. I just bought the stealth suit, I guess the Nick Cage suit from
the spider monkey or whatever, night monkey, that suit.
Yeah, the one where you kind of look. He's just all in black, and
cool.
I think that's going to be good for like the Kingpin missions.
Okay,
you want to take those guys out quickly and silently, right? Is that kind of where that's going?
I didn't play.
Kingpin's the hardest guy to fight in that game.
Well, Kingpin's the first guy that you fight.
Yeah, it was really hard.
Yeah, he took a while, but you just keep webbing him. But so what I'm noticing too is that the storyline, like side missions, if you get all the XP for that, the storyline is super cakewalk to walk, and it's just kind of going out of your way to do like the side missions and then photograph landmarks. And I've spent so much goddamn time finding backpacks.
Find your goddamn backpacks, yeah.
But then now I've unlocked research labs, and that seems stupid. So I just did a mission where I had to pull out barrels so that fish don't get contaminated. That seems like a submariner job.
Those
nice
third person, all of them suffer from it. The third person open world games, Assassin's Creed comes to mind. I mean, they all have that filler bullshit, like pad the game time bullshit that is on the maps. And I'm still trying to finish my Red Dead Redemption 2 playthrough, and I've made a rule. I'm like, I'm doing story missions from here on out. I want to finish this fucking thing,
That's kind of where I got. Before I hooked this up, I was finishing off New Vegas.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, no more roaming around. Just let's finish it off.
Yeah.
Dumped about 30 hours in, and it's like I'm good to finish this.
There's too many games. You got to move on. What am I going to do? If this is my only game I have to 100% it. Ugh.
Also, with New Vegas, you have to like kind of make a decision pretty early on to where you want to lean towards what ending you're going to get. And so, I made my decision, and I'll just watch the other endings on YouTube, I guess.
Yeah. YouTube it.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself getting the Miles Morales sort of like sequel / add-on / DLC?
I don't know what that is. So maybe.
The other Spider-Man. It's like a whole kind of sequel. It's like another 10 or 15 hours of story.
Yeah, it's a pretty big campaign they added.
Maybe. Then, I still got a big 3 other games to play on my PS4 right now.
God of War. What else?
I don't have God of War right now.
Okay.
I've got The Last of Us. I've got Final Fantasy X and X2.
Okay.
And I've got Red Dead 2.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Here we go. Joe is catching up, you guys. Do you feel this right now?
You will gain so much respect if you can beat Red Dead before my John, who's been playing it for 2 years now.
You know what? Nothing against Rockstar, and I fully celebrate Red Dead Redemption 2. But when you got to ride every goddamn where on that horse, the game just takes...
You don't have to.
The game just takes
Go to your camp.
Heck, guess what? You got to ride to your camp.
All right.
Yeah, you can fast travel through that, right?
No, you can't. I mean,
you can fast travel.
you
There's
can
the fast travel wagons all over the place.
There's a stagecoach system, and you can. But if you're not near one, you're still riding to one, and then you got to pay extra to skip the ride. You know, it's
but you kill yourself some elk.
I know. I like the story, but that game is designed for somebody who's
Sell some moonshine.
It's got the kind of time I don't got. You know,
it's a Lego kit. And I just want that big tub of Legos that Nakey Jakey was talking about.
Yeah, Carl gets
it.
Don't
give me that tub of Legos anymore.
Carl gets it, man. The Rockstar in GTA 5 and in Red Dead Redemption 2, they got real formulaic with their game design. Yeah. I still love it. I still think it's, as far as like fidelity and production value, is like, this is a really immersive experience, but when you know that you're going cutscene to cutscene, that's the game. I mean, it's like, okay, cool, I want to know the story. So then you're watching a movie, but you gotta fucking wait between every chapter on the DVD because you gotta ride this fucking horse.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you do it too close or too fast, fucking start over.
Yeah.
Oh, you're riding too close.
Yeah.
Oh, go over to a take this to a certain area or whatever, and then like it's just this one little dome you have to go into. You can't just go to the air. It's just fucked.
Yeah, I still want to complete it, and I think the game should be celebrated and all that. And I think I always said that I think Rockstar kind of sets the bar for the industry, especially that genre. But there are more exciting gameplay mechanics in other games that cost a fraction of the budget and come out and are supported. Demia is a really fucking good example of an engaging game that, like, you sit down, you put your headset on, you feel excited to take your move. It's like, when do I get to go? When's my role? And then,
go bonkers for that game.
Yeah, and Carl, you said you're close on getting a headset, but you've been saying that for like 2 weeks, man. We got to get you in there, buddy.
Yeah, it's it's an investment.
Sell that AJ Styles photo, bro.
$300. Am I going to play it that much? We'll find out.
This game
if you find the right game,
you play it,
eventually.
Yeah.
If you find the right game, like Kevin's he's a Beat Saberman, and I like Demio. Everyone has their games,
Yeah. But it's good times.
Get it together, Rockstar. Bethesda too. Rockstar and Bethesda, get back to your roots.
Oh.
We got Elden Ring is probably going to be announced at E3 here soon.
Craziest crap.
Which could be the next big Elden Ring. It's a George R.R. Martin written RPG game.
Why is George R.R. Martin
and then
writing video games, not writing his fucking books?
He does whatever he wants to do. He's paid in the shade.
Yeah, I guess there's no incentive for him to actually finish his books anymore, since HBO has completed a series for him.
God.
So, Joe, your grandfather passed away.
Yeah, sorry about your loss.
Oh yeah, that was a. Do we want to save this for next week? We're getting pretty long in the tooth here.
It's up to you, buddy. It's
up to you.
It's your story. It's your bit.
You don't even have to talk about it.
It's true. It's true. You owe nothing to anyone.
No, I mean, I would love to talk about it, but I think there's some conversation to be had. So I just kind of noticed the time and getting a little long in the tooth.
A little long in the
tooth. Save that.
For about 2 hours. But on a lighter note, does anyone have any trivia?
Yeah, I got trivia.
Let's do that instead of what I was going to say.
Cool. We're going to do it
way more fun.
We're going to do a different format. I've been listening to a new podcast. It's from IGN, and Joel, you recommended it to me, and it's called Game Scoop. And at the end of every episode that they do like a 20 questions guess the game. And so I want to do that, but I want to do it with movies. So
cool. I'm in. Yeah.
And so like we'll go in rotation.
Have Kevin pick it though.
No, I have it. I have the movie.
Wait, did someone win the brownie for the brownie, or
No,
Has that all been wrapped up?
No, we haven't wrapped it up. I think.
Oh, okay.
Dude, where's my scoreboard? It's been so long since we've given a shit. Right now, Kevin is at 3. Joe, you're at 1, and Carl has 0 points. This will be worth a point, and I think I'll say that we're going to go to 5, and that's who wins.
Let's make it worth 20.
Okay. Wait, what? No, we'll be here forever. No, and our last episode's coming up. There's no way.
Our last episode?
Yeah, you haven't heard about this?
No.
200.
200 maybe.
200, and we're out.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I have the movie, and I have some info pulled up on it.
Wait,
but
what are we on now?
187. 187.
Oh, okay.
So this is
murdered.
This is worth a point. We should be able to wrap this up by the time our podcast is over forever. So this should be good. So yeah, we'll go in rotation. Whoever wants to start, 20 questions. And of course you guys can discuss, like, is this a good question? Should we submit it? Blah, blah, blah. Like, don't feel like I'm going to be real strict about like, okay, nope, you asked, you know what I mean? Like, you have to kind of say like, okay, this is our question. Or whatever.
And to follow,
I feel like we shouldn't be discussing it.
Okay.
We should discuss it.
No. You get your question. There's up to 20 of them. That's enough,
And the interesting thing, too, is that you guys get 20 questions, but you're not working together. You're going to be working against each other because the whoever comes up in rotation and gets to guess the title of the movie, that's
so you're going to give us a clue about one movie, and we get to ask 20 questions in totality.
You don't get a clue. You just get to ask 20 questions and see if you can guess it.
We have no idea what the movie is at all.
As of now, that is true, yes.
I have the first question.
Okay.
Hold the fences. I have to pee.
All right. You, I gotta get a beer.
Can I tell you guys
I gotta get a beer. These works perfect.
Let's ban.
I got a science fact I want to share with you guys.
All right, do that while Joe
I was going
pees.
to pee, but I know.
I kind of want
to.
I kind of want to know it too. We're ready.
Oh, it's fucking cool. So, do you know why more babies are born on full moons?
Because werewolves love to fuck. Oh.
Something about the moon controls like menstrual cycles or whatever, so maybe it can do.
Fuck up like how birth control works if you don't take it properly, or
so when we were, if you go all the way back to when we were aquatic reptiles,
like us, like all of us.
Okay,
20 years ago,
like human beings,
when
we were aquatic reptiles.
Those were good times, boys.
The Reagan years.
We were related to most swimming iguanas similar to what you'd see today, but more like a mosasaur, like a big ass like dinosaur in the water.
Okay.
And the only time that they could give birth safely was during a full moon. And the reason that is because nocturnal predators weren't able to see as well in the bright moonlight. And so literally, turtles do it still on full moons. All these aquatic reptiles get together and they have their babies on the full moon. And that primally has carried over all the way up to where we are today.
Crazy.
Hold on. So you're saying more babies are... Okay. So you're saying they're fucking under the full moon or they're birthing under the full moon?
No, it's ingrained in our primal brains that it's safer to have a baby on a full moon. And that's why we have more babies on full moon.
Wait, are you talking about conceiving or having?
He's talking about
birthing, yeah.
Yeah, not fucking. I don't think I mentioned fucking.
Well, I mean, when you conceive has a lot to do when the baby is born.
So how would that carry over to our primal brains if it has to do with a reptile who has a different... I don't think this is true.
It's true, bro.
I'm calling nuts on that.
Did Mike Tyson tell you this?
Mike Tyson. Listen, man, you're going to love this shit.
I'll be right back.
I think us used to be aquatic reptiles or whatever breaks down a little bit for me because we're really, like, all the mammals that are alive today are mostly descended from, like, the rodents that survived after the dinosaurs and whatnot.
But if you follow those rodents back, they're related to aquatic reptiles. Yeah,
I feel like what am I trying to say? there's like an extra degree of like universal separation in my mind between the reptiles and stuff that sort of, we're the ancestors of dinosaurs, and then like the humans that are alive now are more the ancestors of mice, basically. I don't know.
Right.
Not important.
Well, I mean, the one thing that we have, even before we were reptiles, we were fish, and that's the reason we all have eyes the way we do. It's from the time we were a fish.
All right, you got your first question, Jolie?
Yeah, was this movie released after 2010?
No. Then we'll go Joe, Carl, Kevin.
Yeah, I'll go. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So Joe, or is he back from pissing yet?
I'll go next then. Was it after 1995?
No.
Okay.
And
Carl, do you have one?
Yeah, we'll go Carl.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I'll be right back again. Keep thinking.
I'm back.
Okay.
I don't know what he said to think about, but what are we thinking about?
Okay.
This is what we know, Joe. It hasn't been released. We don't know the release year yet.
It hasn't been released.
No. It's 1995 or earlier is what we know of the release.
Wait, we burned a question?
You burned 2 questions.
Fuck. 95.
I was just gonna go 90.
Maybe 85, we should say.
We shouldn't try to worry about the there's a lot of movies coming out in any given year. We should probably hammer down a genre first. Or like a dollar figure.
You should have.
The only thing we know is it's
here.
before,
Yeah,
the only thing we know is it's before 95.
correct.
It could be 95.
95 or earlier.
Yeah.
Yep.
We know that it's not after 95. Is it after 1990?
Wait, does that count as a question?
You tell me.
That's my question. I was next.
Oh, okay. We're going in order. Okay.
Yeah, we got an order, and only one person can win. So you guys are helping each other with your hints, but also whoever gets there. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't do 20. We should just do whoever gets there. I don't know. But the question was, it after 1990? Is that the question?
Yes.
No, it was not released after 1990.
Okay. So this is like a meta question.
Okay.
Is that okay?
You ask your question.
It's going to be your question.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to ask. I want to ask my question after I ask my meta question.
You get one question per turn.
He can deny the question and not burn a question.
Well, I was going to ask about like what Roger Ebert says, but you would have to know what Roger Ebert says. So
you could only ask, did he give it a good review or a bad review? You know what I mean? Like it's 20 questions.
Was it thumbs up or thumbs down? Yeah.
But I mean, you've got access to the internet, so you could look up to see if he gave it.
I'll be using the internet for questions you guys have, like just in case I don't know. Like I have some,
Okay.
I have the info pulled up on it now. So
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
that was your question.
So
Next turn.
No, that was a meta question. Come on.
You're good.
John, is this a film that you've seen more than 5 times in your life?
More than 5 times. I will say no,
Okay.
but I had to think about it, which means I've definitely seen it twice, maybe 3 times. Too much info, John.
Is this film based off of actual events?
Ooh,
Like, I know they are going to embellish no matter what, but is
will-
it based off of a true story?
I will answer. I will answer kind of, or I don't know. Does that make sense? Does
So
it
it's
help?
not
It doesn't
Predator.
help you a lot. Yeah.
Kind of, or I don't know?
Yeah.
Kind of, or I
Like,
don't know.
like Joe, you said it's not Predator. So like, if it was Predator, that's no. You know what I mean? Like, this is like,
But if it's Big Top Pee-wee,
Yeah, I don't know.
I have another meta question.
Yeah. I can find out. Hold on.
Okay, well, I'll wait to ask my meta question.
For sure.
Count key clicks.
Oh, whoa, that'd be like some crazy shit if someone...
Is it me?
No, I think it's me after John looks something up and Joe asks his meta question. Joe, you should ask the meta question now while we have this dead space.
Okay. I will say that it is not based on real events. No.
So it's Not They Live, starring Roddy Piper.
Fuck. Damn, that's a great movie.
Okay, so how many questions are we at here? Hold on, that's...
You just said you weren't counting questions anymore.
1, 2, 3, 4. That was number 5.
Okay.
No, you said
I think we'll count, but like, I think we can go over just because of the nature of us playing against each other, but a game that you're kind of working together to get to.
Do you reckon that I could name a song featured in this movie
from the soundtrack? I would say yes. I would reckon that you could name a song from the soundtrack.
Okay.
Like not.
That being said, I'm not 100% sure that you've seen this movie, Kevin. So
that's okay.
Can I ask my meta question now?
Okay.
I'm trying to help.
Can I ask my meta question?
That's fine.
Just for the sake of me knowing how the game works, was this chosen, like a movie chosen at random through some sort of movie random simulator, or how was the movie chosen?
I wanted to make sure that I picked something that I'd seen.
Okay.
So I picked it. It was picked by me.
But not more than 5 times. Okay.
You got it.
So it's not like you just pulled a movie out of any old hat. Okay. That was my question. Thank you very much.
I picked the movie. Yes, meta question answered.
Once our answers are finalized, are we out of the game, or can you have multiple guesses?
You can have multiple guesses, I think.
Yeah, let's just go.
That's your guess for that go round, though.
You guys got a lot to figure out before we start throwing titles around. So keep going.
Well, I mean that's why I want to get ahead of that guessing situation.
Sure. Yeah. We're not.
Typically, in most 20 questions games, you can't guess until the last question. That's how GameScoop does it.
Okay.
But I thought the way you scored 20 questions was like how many questions you could answer it in.
Yeah, but you only get... Well, I guess what I'm saying is you get one shot to ask.
And what I'm saying is...
a definitive answer.
The way I'm doing it is if we can do it in 20, cool. If not, whatever. And whoever guesses is the title, blah, blah, blah. And I say yes, that's the person who gets the point. So...
Yeah, I think Joel's talking about clue rules. Like if you say Colonel Mustard and it's Mr. Green, you're out.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that. So,
right, so it's Carl's turn.
Carl's turn. Before 1990, I've seen it at least 2 or 3 times. Kevin, if he hadn't seen it, would recognize or would be able to name a song off of its soundtrack. I think that's kind of where we're at.
Did this film win any Oscars?
Did this film win any Oscars? I'm
Oscars.
I'm gonna say no. While I research, but no.
Oh. All right, Joe.
Would this film have been in the top U.S. box office? For the top 10 of the year it came out.
Oh my god. I have to look that up. But I can do that.
That interestingly eliminates a lot of things that...
Domestic, international, what do you like?
Just domestic is fine. I don't know how much international would do to it.
I'm pretty sure no. But I would hate to be wrong about it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Box office mojo.
Guys,
here we come. Top
10.
It is not in the top 10.
Okay.
Is this film rated How do I question this? Is it rated more mature than PG?
Yes.
So does that yes, so that means it's either a PG-13 or an R.
Yes.
And PG-13 didn't start until Temple of Doom.
89 would have been.
So then that...
Red Dawn would have been the first PG-13.
You guys know a lot about movies. This is fun.
But wait, you said it was before 90, so that leaves us 95 to 89-ish is kind of where that should fall.
Wait, what? But we're already we're 90 or earlier.
That's all we know is before 90.
Yeah.
Okay, no, sorry, that would have been PG-13, so it could be R. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
I thought it was like Gremlins or something was the movie that made PG-13 a thing.
That's what started the controversy, and then they created PG-13. I didn't know
Okay.
Red Dawn was the first one. I knew Spielberg was pushing for it.
I think Red Dawn was the first one that was actually released under the PG-13 banner, but there is controversy. There might have been another one that was like in filming during that time, but Red Dawn is like kind of recognized.
Okay.
A Google search says Red Dawn is the first PG-13 movie.
There you go. All right.
Gremlins would have been a great PG-13 movie in 84 when that came out.
Gremlins has titties and throats getting cut. There's a sex scene between two of the Gremlins. It's disgusting. Smut.
Gremlin smut.
So that was the 7th question, I believe. This is just for fun, I guess.
Yeah,
I think you got
the 9th.
The 9th
That's
question?
the ninth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you guys can do it in 20. But you guys gotta start narrowing this thing down.
Yeah.
Joe mentioned something about genre earlier. That would certainly help you guys, I think.
Yeah, I think we need to get there with the genre.
If it's unless it's like horror, though, I feel like the genre is going to be sort of subjective. Except he's instructing us that we should be doing that. So sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it a comedy?
Ask it.
There you go.
What's the question?
Is it a comedy?
It is a comedy. Yeah.
Real quick meta question: are you considering shared genres? Like Gremlins is a horror comedy family. Like are you saying it's primarily a comedy? Cream of Egbert.
Are you asking me if it's a shared genre? Because if you are,
no,
that's
I'm
a question.
saying when you answer Kevin's question, are you saying it's primarily a comedy? Or are you saying it's also a comedy?
That's another question.
No, that's a gameplay.
It's a fair meta question.
Yeah.
Kevin only said is it a comedy?
Right, which is what I don't like about asking genre is now we're still kind of in this gray area.
It is a comedy. So if somebody wants to ask the question, is it a shared genre, then I will answer that question.
Okay, another meta question.
Sure.
If I ask you something that I don't know the answer to, but you can look up, would you look it up and answer it?
I'll do my best, yeah.
Okay.
You guys, you'll get it. You'll get it, okay? Don't worry.
Is it my go? My time?
Yeah.
Is that
my
right?
time to shine? I'm going to go ahead and clear up the question from earlier.
Yeah.
John, is it R rated?
It is R-rated.
Nice. R-rated comedy, pre-1990. Not a box office winner. So maybe a cult classic.
And that's inherent to the genre, too. You don't typically see comedies high on a year-end box office take, you know what I mean? Just throwing that out there to say. Just saying.
I gotta go grab my laptop battery. It's about to die.
Mm-hmm.
We'll catch you up.
So that's on me now?
Yep.
Okay. John,
Yes.
Was the any of the top, let's say, 3 Build actors, were they a stand-up comic at all?
Good question. I go with the IMDb order of billing, just so you know, and I will say that no, none of the top 3 Build actors were stand-up comics. No.
Okay.
And I'm double checking now, and I'll update you if I'm wrong on that, but no.
Does this movie feature Chevy Chase?
Going for it, huh? No. The movie does not feature Chevy Chase.
No Chevy Chase?
No Chase.
Right.
And no top build stand-up comedians either.
Correct.
Okay.
That's question
I
11, I
guess
think.
Chase didn't do stand-up, yeah.
So then that means Animal House is out because Belushi was stand-up.
But Belushi might not have been top 3 Build in Animal House, though.
I bet he was.
Is it me?
I don't think would have been.
Nah, it's mine.
I also think John would have seen Animal House more than 2 to 3 times.
I actually haven't seen Animal House.
Well, it's not Animal House,
guys.
Crazy.
I don't know if that's one you need to go back and rewatch.
Is that the one where they cut a hole and watch the girls shower?
No,
That's
Porky's.
See, I haven't seen that either. I don't know.
So I feel like these are things that you probably would have got if you had your mom explaining them to you while you're watching it, but now it would seem super dated. You would probably still get it, but if you showed it to your daughters, they'd be like, what the fuck is any of this?
That's fair.
Is
I have this as question 12, I think.
Yep. Is it the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
No.
Dang it.
Wow.
Doesn't narrow it down much.
That's a dick question, Kevin. But
He wants to win.
I guess. He wants those brownies. We don't even know that it's a musical. What do you...
No, we don't. We know that it's an R-rated comedy that John reckons I would know a song from the soundtrack.
Yeah, I guess. Is that Carl or me?
Was Rocky
Carl.
Horror rated R?
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
so.
I didn't know
must
that.
have
That's
been.
cool.
Yeah, there was rape and gay.
That's another one I haven't seen.
Gay
Gay
robots in their underpants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Super hot Susan Sarandon.
Ugh.
She was pretty good looking, man.
Super hot, the mayor from New York.
She's
from
got
Spin City.
she's got eyelashes for days, that Susan Sarandon.
Susan
Better.
Sarandon rap.
I like a good set of
Is the film?
eyelashes.
Is this film? Is it a musical?
No.
Not a musical comedy.
Guys, there weren't many musicals released at that time frame.
Yeah, no shit.
We don't even really have a time frame yet.
Yeah, you guys have before. Maybe you should get to the bottom of that. I don't know.
That would have been a really smart question if you had said, yes, it was a musical.
It's true, Carl. You're doing fine. Everybody's doing fine.
Does the name of the movie start with one of the first 12 letters of the alphabet?
Ooh. That question's typically not allowed, but he
No.
didn't say that.
Oh, really? Don't answer then if it's not allowed.
Why wouldn't that be allowed?
Yeah, I don't know, but
It's in typical 20 questions rules. You can't
This isn't typical.
phonetically
20
figure out the...
questions.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah. You
Oh,
don't
I
have-
see
you
what
don't
you're
have to answer
saying. Okay. Well, I already
If,
did.
if we
but-
don't,
Because then we could just use the whole 20 questions figuring out most of the letters, right?
yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean, it would be too hard to, unless the movie title had like 3 letters, it would be really hard to spend all your questions. that way
Yeah,
and
that's
get
true.
anywhere.
So I'll say no, it doesn't. So there's your answer.
Okay.
That's 13.
Movie starts with M and above. M
and above, 90 and before.
Woo!
Okay.
It's not Meteor Man, is it? No, it's not Meteor Man. Fuck.
John, does dancing feature heavily in the plot of the film?
Does dancing feature heavily in the plot of the film? Is that your what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Does dancing feature?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Show up.
You gotta speak English, Jimmy. Is dancing featured in the movie, you're saying?
You can ask if does dancing feature heavily.
Yes, that's part of the plot. Like Footloose,
like Dirty Dancing?
No, I understand what he was trying to ask, because the way it was phrased. No, dancing is not featured prominently in the film. No.
Is this movie from 1980 or later?
Is the movie 1980 or later? Yes.
Okay.
We're at 15.
80 to 90. It's an 80s film. R-rated comedy.
It starts with an M or later.
No Googling, you boys, alright?
You really can't Google that still, I don't think.
You could pull up 80s movies rated R and have a pretty good
start with an M.
Yeah.
Or later in the alphabet.
Google would shit itself if you typed all that in.
Oh.
It's Carl now.
Did we lose
I
Carl?
was thinking Beverly Hills Cop for the longest time until we got that alphabet thing narrowed down. That's no good.
I was thinking one of the airplane films.
Well, that was even before the 80s, so that wouldn't have worked. And
So just now.
And what you want to do, like, is if you have an idea.
Also, John would have watched Airplane like more than two times.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I've seen.
Really?
I've seen Airplane a few times.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, not by choice. Like, it was just on TV a lot. You know, like
you don't have to be airplane shamed by.
Thank you.
I've seen it at least. I don't know.
I mean, surely you guys have seen it more than a couple times.
We have. Don't call me Shirley.
Yeah, no. There it is.
Who's up? Kev?
No, it's Carl.
Is it the film Stripes?
It is not Stripes. So what you want to do, Carl, instead of guessing a movie, you would say, like, is the military involved in it or something? You know what I mean? Like, and then that way maybe you can get some bonus info outside of just a straight title. And that goes for all you knuckleheads.
Yeah, but this is
kind of have to go.
It's a real
for
bad design for one of us is going to win the points.
Yeah, it should
if,
just be a team effort.
If we play trying to win, then there's very little incentive to
saying.
move the information along.
So just tell you the movie and kill the pod? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
No. What if well, do you have a question? Do you have a better scoring system, Kevin? Do you have any ideas as far as like where we are now and how, like, a better idea about how we could do that to where?
I'd say you give everybody a point if we get it within 20.
I think at the end of 20 questions, we all write down like 5 titles or something like that.
Okay. So we're at 16 now, and I think Carl's up.
Goes up.
No, Carl just shot his load on.
Yeah.
I'm still cleaning load out of my eyes.
Joe gets this question, and then we each get one more. I think, right?
Yeah.
Put your load goggles on.
You own that?
Oh yeah, everyone's got load goggles. You don't have load goggles? You don't know what's going to happen in the world. Sometimes you go out into the cum district and you never know what's going to work out there.
I never go down to the cum district.
Sometimes the cum district goes down to you, baby.
Mm.
All right. This is have any of the top 4, I'll say, actors for either this movie or other stuff they've been in, have they been nominated for a Best Actor or Actress Academy Award?
And say their name.
God damn.
I mean, that's going to take some clicking.
Okay, well, we got time.
All right, hold up. It'll say it in the first paragraph of their Wikipedia page.
I feel like if you don't know it off the bat, though, that's
the answer is probably no. Is what I'm leaning.
Okay, yeah.
But I would, hate to be wrong.
Right.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Emmys. I'm seeing a lot of Emmy nominations, a lot of Golden Globes. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Right. How about it?
You know what I mean?
I have no idea who were doing Emmys in the early. Okay,
that's a good question.
Craig T. Nelson.
Oh, I think your question's over. I think you did it.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts about Craig T. Nelson, then?
Love him.
All right. Let's see.
Craig T. Nelson is not in this movie, Joe.
That eliminates the advocate. Devil's advocate. Fuck.
So no Academy Awards.
Pretty sure, yeah. I'm clicking through them. Yeah. No.
So that eliminates all the prior and wilder kind of buddy comedies that came out, the R-rated buddy comedies. I will ask if this film has a sequel.
It does.
Good
that was
question.
Actually that's a
very
solid question, and yes, it does.
But we also don't know if this is like the sequel to, like, what if he's chosen
let's say it's Police Academy 2,
so if I
and
chose
if there's a Police
2,
Academy 3, then yeah,
you got it.
Okay.
So if it's Superman 3 is not a comedy. I guess it is. Richard Pryor's in it.
Yeah, right.
Quest for Peace.
Superman. Yeah. Okay.
I always confuse 3 and 4 just based on title. I always think Quest for Peace was the fourth one, but
which one is the one that has the?
I like this
Nuclear Man.
Yeah, I like Nuclear Man.
4, right?
That's 4.
That's 4.
Yeah. Destroy Superman.
Yeah, no, that
almost entirely written by Christopher Reeve.
I like that movie. I mean, at least my 12-year-old memory of it. When I
don't think it would hold up.
It's got some good camp.
He would have like solar electric nails that came out. You remember that? He would shock you with
press on.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on?
Does this movie have a clear, like one person who's the main character of the movie?
That's a good question.
I'm gonna answer, but I'm gonna elaborate, and I'm gonna say, well, I feel like my elaboration might confuse you guys even more. Yes, there is a main character. Yep. But it's
say it.
There's
some other prominent roles.
Yeah. It's a main character, but not like the movies with this guy the entire time. Now I said guy.
Oh, I thought of a good question.
Now I said guy. Now it's not a female. Look at me.
It was the 80s, so it kind of had to be a guy.
Good call. It's probably white too. He can probably swim really well.
Is sex featured predominantly in this film?
Wow. You could just say, does the movie have a sex scene?
No.
Does sex feature
predominantly or heavily no.
Is it heavy?
No.
Okay.
No.
The answer is no. Oh, okay. I feel like everyone's got their own personal bingo sheet at this point.
No, I still have no idea what to look for.
the parental guide says that in the film you'll see bodies that are covered by bed sheets, and that it's obvious that sex was had.
Covered by what?
Bed sheets. And just that sex has been had. It's implied. I just Googled it.
And this was rated R, we said?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I'm actually starting to wonder why it was rated R. Just out of my own curiosity here.
All right, Jill.
What question are we at? How many are we at?
19.
Yeah, we're not looking good. Is the main actor of this movie still alive and making movies, or are they dead?
Those are two questions.
They could be, they could be alive and not making movies.
All right.
Are they still? Are they still currently working?
Are they still making movies? Yeah. Let's say then.
John's trying to think how to spell Gutenberg right now.
Obviously they're still alive because I'm Googling it. And no. I mean, yeah, no. They are not still making movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I got it.
Oh.
How?
We may have hit 20, but let's just keep going. You guys got this.
Okay.
We did hit 20. I feel like we should lock in our guesses.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll do guessing rounds until we get it, basically, right?
You guys did not get a lot of info, and I don't think
we
anyone's
didn't
going to
get a lot
guess
of
it.
info.
Yeah. Do another round.
What if no one gets it though? Yeah. Do we get no points or?
Yeah, and it was a waste of everyone's time. Do another round. We need someone to guess this. You know.
Okay. Are any of the top 3 billed actors in the film from Canada?
Okay. From Canada. Is that a good movie? I've not seen From Canada. That's not a movie. Are you sure that's the title?
No,
Three
from
actors
the nation
are
of
they
Canada.
Oh.
Of the top 3.
Hothead.
Okay, hold on. No. Yeah.
None of them are Canadian.
No.
Oh, what did you think it was that was Canadian heavy?
Well, you got all the Strange Brew crew like John Candy, Rick Moranis. I get it. I'm just trying to. There's like comedy troops in the 80s, and I'm just trying to zero in on who it might be. You know.
Would you describe this as anything other than a comedy?
Yes. As far as genre is concerned.
All right. Carl?
Did we lose a Carl?
No. He's making a thinking face right now.
Oh, I see.
I'm thinking.
All bets are off on the 20s, so just, you can ask questions about it or what the other combo genre is or.
What if after this round we do it's open questioning and open guessing until we get it, just to kind of speed things along?
Sure.
Since we all benefit from the questions anyway,
Yeah.
Is this
what did we say the gross was?
It wasn't top 10.
Okay.
Its budget was $11 million, and it had a $75 million box office return.
Okay.
The language of the film is English.
English?
But not.
Is it risky business?
It's not risky business.
It was. Was anyone on vacation in the film?
No.
So it's
What's that
not
you broke
Home
up?
Alone or Weekend at Bernie's.
Or Vacation.
Home Alone was like 92, wasn't it?
What's
Yeah,
going on here?
Home Alone would have been later.
It's not National Lampoon.
And we have now entered open forum. So anyone who has a question, fire away. No more rotation.
Okay. Was its score on Rotten Tomatoes good or bad?
Okay.
For, let's say, the audience score.
Good question. Okay. I would say good, probably. I mean, without...
Let's say over 60 is good for the audience.
Okay. Yes, I would say yes. Without seeing it yet. Yeah. Yes.
Is it about cops?
Nope.
Is it about the military?
No. It is not.
Is there a number in the title?
No.
Shit.
Is it Revenge of the Nerds?
No.
I'm just gonna start throwing out.
It's
Is
a little
it RoboCop?
It's a little early for titles, boys. No, it's not RoboCop.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we
Yeah.
can.
I can't hear you right now.
What
Is the
changed?
female lead a blonde?
Female lead, you say? Yes.
What is Joel doing?
He lost us, but
Some
you
tech.
can hear him. Yes, female lead is a blonde. A slight curl to this blonde hair.
Hmm. Is this something you've owned on DVD in the past?
No.
No. Something you would watch if it were on TV, you would stop and watch the rest of the film.
No.
Is it a part of the Porky's franchise?
No.
I think we should try to figure out the blonde with slight curls.
It's not much of a leading lady. It's more about the boys in this movie.
It's not Ghostbusters, we've said.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not Ghostbusters 2.
I think it's...
we've
Is it
said.
hint time?
Yeah.
Is it hint time? Do you guys want the
Yes.
other genre?
Hold on, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it Revenge of the Nerds?
No. Carl said that. It's a good guess, though.
Joel,
Yes, we want hints.
do you want your hint
What's the
now?
other genre?
The other genre?
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on.
Is it Dick Tracy?
No.
Damn it.
It's a great film.
Alright, yeah, what's the other genre?
It's a sports comedy.
Major League.
Major League is correct.
Nice.
Motherfucker.
We'll let Joel have a point, I guess, on the scoreboard.
I got more points than Carl.
I'm sorry that was such a disaster.
Yep, that's right.
And when I say I'm sorry, I don't really care. All right.
Wild thing.
And that was the song I was thinking of. Carl or Kevin, have you seen Major
Make
League?
my heart sing.
I have seen Major League, probably in the 2 or 3 times range.
Okay,
as well.
and you would know that Wild Thing is the song that you would recognize from the soundtrack. At least.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
Well,
also John Moxley's theme song now.
really, Moxley
Yeah. Yeah, the Trogs.
paid a pretty penny for the licensing on that. I would assume.
I bet it's not as expensive as you
They've been-
think at this point in time.
They've been doing
think?
that. Tony Khan's been buying popular songs and just giving them to his wrestlers. That's
Yeah,
fun.
Where Is My Mind is a theme song now.
Oh,
for
that's
AEW.
pretty cool. Is it a cover
Yeah.
or is it a ridge?
No, it's the OG.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then that Tarzan Boy song from the 80s,
Baltimore.
with
Oh.
that with the Tarzan call in it.
Baltimore, yeah.
Jungle
Whoa.
Love.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Morris
That's,
Morris Day and the Times.
Luke Perry's kid's song now.
Jungle Love. Oh. That's more staying the time.
Well, that's a podcast, young men. I think we've done it.
Shit, I would lop that 20 questions off.
Yeah.
Put it on your Patreon.
Sure. Yeah, not a good idea.
Thank everyone. Thank Kevin for being a good sport.
Or maybe I should have picked a movie.
I think you wanted to go a long time ago.
I should have picked a way easier movie. That's my B.
I think that's within the easy reach. I mean, Kevin's seen it.
Yeah, it's not an obscure movie by any means.
I was so hoping it was Police Academy for the longest time.
I was
all
sitting
you
on
could think
30
about.
Men in a Baby
Yeah.
for a second.
I can't believe Joe asked through the first 12 letters of the alphabet and it was number 13. And when you counted out, you actually counted on your fingers. Maybe we should have leaned heavier on the M's and the N's.
It was close. As close as it could have been. Yeah, thanks for listening. If you're still here on Twitch, if this makes the audio version or whatever, thanks for hanging out. Tell a friend about podcasts right now if you're enjoying yourself, if you're having some fun with us. Join us every week for the live stream on Twitch. It's every Sunday. We've been doing it recently around 9 o'clock. Podcastrightnow.com is the website you want to type into your browser, and you can hit us up on Twitter, join the Patreon, help us support the pod, and then nothing.bandcamp.com. Carl Boy here.
We got a show coming up.
Ooh.
We got a show coming up.
Let's get those.
Yeah.
Let's get those deets.
It's going to be at Ace of Cups, and it's going to be the 17th of next month, I believe.
Oh, I'll be there.
What month is next
It's,
month?
June.
That's a Thursday.
It is.
All right.
Yes, that is a Thursday.
But the band is called Nothing, and
We're playing with Wasp Factory is who we're playing with.
It's a good
White Anglo-Saxon Protestant Factory.
There it is. Yeah, so there you go. Nothing is the name of the band. Carl plays guitar, and you can see him live next month. Ace of Cups is the venue.
You're following Friday the 18th off now, boys and girls. Schedule that day off. Your balls
17th.
will need to be iced for a day.
Watch Facebook. Watch Ace of Cups for those tickets.
Yep.
They're going to go quickly.
Yep. We thank you for listening. Take care of yourself out there. Make sure you guys are getting your exercise in. Say hello to a neighbor that you haven't met. And, of course, leave no trace. All right? Joel?
And wave at fellow bikers.
There you go. Yeah, you got to wave on that trail, Kevin.
Not is good enough.
Any parting words from the boys before we say goodbye?
Fuck Crash, fuck Hurt Locker.
Oh, okay. I agree with
Get,
one of those.
Get your vaccine, take off your mask. It's fun.
Yeah.
Fuck Crash, fuck Raising Cane's.
Okay.
Wait, the John Lithgow movie or the chicken joint?
Raising Cain.
Why not both?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, the chicken joint. I bet the John Lithgow movie is probably closer to a properly cooked fried chicken.
Yeah,
Kevin,
right.
you could not be more wrong. You could not be more wrong. They have the most upbeat staff. Their chicken is crispy. You gotta vent the packaging, you psycho.
It's not crispy. You
can't drive 45 minutes and keep
That's
it in
not what
a
does it.
biodome
No, please,
and then
come
get
on.
home and be like, oh my god, why doesn't this taste good? It's like eat McDonald's
That's
an
not-
hour later and be like, this. I give McDonald's low reviews.
Your Kroger
No,
Monday
this
chicken
is-
special is better than Raising Cane's.
We're getting a
Totally
lot of
fake.
letters on this.
Totally fake the idea that I'm making like some hour-long drive to Raising Cane's and back. That's not what does it. It goes into the box being too wet. And
oh my god.
That's like
I think it's suspect that the staff is so upbeat that they have to have a gimmick of asking you which combo you're picking. It smacks of overcompensation
From
for
the
chicken
top
that
down-
needs to be put back in the fryer.
What would you rather have them say? Just what? Do you want them to
Yeah,
say
because I go to the other boys, I go to the
Numbers.
other fast casual restaurants, and you know what happens when I pull up to the fucking menu? They say, "What's your order?" And they're pissed that they hate their job. I go to
No, I
Raising
don't say
Cane's,
that.
it's positivity, and they have a streamlined menu where you can only order a couple different things, and that increases the wait time. Everybody's moving, everybody's
should.
happy.
Yeah. It's good. It is good for the wait time. I'll agree with you there. The two things they do right, they have crushed ice. That's in the pros column for Raising Cane's. Yeah. And the sauce is.
Oh,
the
fuck
sauce
you,
is pretty
Captain
good.
Awesome! You're fired from the podcast too. He said in the chat that Raising Cane's tastes like nursing home food. but I'm pretty sure I know that he works for Hot Chicken Takeover, so that's corporate. He's just trying to represent his brand. Anyways.
Captain Awesome should be so lucky if one day he's old enough to have a feeding tube that tastes like his Hot Chicken
Like
Takeover.
Nashville Hot.
This guy's still shitting fire.
The
He's got a feeding tube in. What is
happening? Goes in real smooth. Our Nashville Hot.
The founder and CEO of Raising Cane's, I shit you not, was last week on Theo Vaughn's podcast. This weekend or last weekend or whatever the fuck it's called.
This past weekend.
Past weekend with Theo Vaughn. I recommend you give it a listen, and I recommend you go and have Cane's again, because clearly it's been a long time since you've experienced what they have to offer.
Do they talk about this on the podcast, how there's widespread accusations of their chicken being
No,
too
because
wet
no one
and not
says
cooked
it.
enough?
No, because no one says it. No one else says it except for you. You're the only person.
Why do you have to go on a podcast and explain to everyone that no, our chicken's fully cooked?
It's an interesting story that where Raising Cane's came from, and they don't hate gays. I mean, they're not.
It is an
not
interesting
Chick-fil-A.
story because most people
there are
hear
some
raw
chicken
chicken and they run screaming.
Podcast
And they've somehow made it
right
into
now.
a billion-dollar business to just sell raw chicken.
The real move is that you want to substitute your coleslaw and get another slice of Texas toast. That's the move.
I'll do this. I'll do this.
Stop up the wet chicken.
Joel,
Yeah,
you've never had it.
you'll
They don't have cool chicken in Colorado. You guys only get burritos.
From my house, motherfucker. I get Popeyes. I'm a Popeyes man.
What?
Or you're out of the
Everyone
conversation.
gets
If you
then.
get
Everyone
two
gets
pieces
Popeyes.
of toast, then you'll have 4 surfaces that are each half a micron thick of bread that's actually toasted, and the rest is just a loaf.
Listen, you can't make half a micron thick bread, Kev.
No, just the toasted part is half a micron.
You've never been more wrong about anything in your entire life.
No, I can be wrong about a lot of things, my friend.
Yeah, this one is
You know
the
what you
most
don't
wrong
find?
you've been.
You know what you don't find near chicken places? Public
Swimming
swimming.
pools? Yeah.
He said that, not me.
I don't get it.
We made black jokes earlier.
Well, we didn't know. Let's name the suspects who did.
All right. Thanks
Not
for
me.
guys. Thanks for listening. Please tweet us whether what your favorite chicken place is, and if you think Raising Cane's is a 10 out of 10 or not. Thank you. And then we'll look at the stats, and then I'll be right, and then we'll talk about it next week. It'll be great.
I mean,
Put everyone who
I
says
wouldn't
it's a
say
10
they're
out of 10 on a
10 out of
list.
10. I would say that they're not as good as Roosters, but I would say they're not the shit that Kevin makes.
I'm talking specifically chicken tenders. Where else are you going? Any place you can pick. What's your favorite spot?
Popeyes is
Oh
fine.
my god, you like that
Wings over.
that desert gravel chicken? That's the driest chicken I've ever had. So you
You're
talk
gonna
about
get dipping
Cane's.
sauce.
Well, you should. A good tender shouldn't require a dipping sauce. That's an additive. You know, that's a nice
Hey,
little side.
I'm not going to get into should. We live in a world where, these are our options in fast food chicken. And if Raising Cane's is your submission for a tender that can stand on its own, then
First of all, they're not fast food. It's called.
Kevin.
It's fast casual. Fast
It
casual.
is, Kevin, I challenge you to raise your own chickens, slaughter them, and open your own fast casual joint. I challenge you, Kevin.
I'll do it this week and we can talk about it on next pod.
Okay.
Chirpin's Clucks.
Let's see how it goes.
Chirpin' Clucks. Come on.
There's your.
I'd go there. That sounds friendly.
Chirpin' Clucks. Or focus only on ducks.
We'll call it Cuck You Chicken.
We'll call
Clucking
it
chicken.
Kevin.
That's like the come and go of chicken places.
And we'll sell you chicken, but you have to bring your wife, and while you eat the chicken, some things are going to happen.
Cucking.
Yep, and you get a chance to buy the video at the end.
Yeah. Kevin would call it Raising Cane's, but cooked and crispy. All right.
Why was the chicken so free?
I'm going to bring you some Raising Cane's, and I'm going to watch you eat it, because these allegations are... We got to stop.
John,
We got to widen it
You're
down.
going to have
We
a
gotta stop.
Brokeback Mountain, and everyone brings a different chicken.
Fuck.
A different...
No.
A different
to
stick.
embellish-
I'll just get it catered. I'll just get it catered Raising Cane style, man.
Well, remember to embellish the travel time when you tell me why it's wet.
You gotta let the container vent. You gotta vent the container.
No, I don't have these instructions with any other thing that comes in a styrofoam box. Why is it only them?
It's a common sense thing, man. I mean,
I can get other crispy things or bread that I expect to stay dry. I can put it into a styrofoam container even while it's warm, and there are other things giving off moisture. And then I drive back to my house, and it's only 10 minutes. And the food is not wet.
You are alone in this review. They are a successful business, and as we speak, they are only opening new locations. They're at like 600 locations right now. They make more in a year than like many other restaurants.
Claim to fame, though. What puts them on a map?
They're chicken tenders. What Kevin's bitching about. It's the only thing on the menu, Joel. It's chicken tenders, French fries, toast, and slaw. And then they have like a fancy sauce that goes with the tenders. And that's it. You can't get a chicken sandwich. You can't get a chicken salad. That's what you get, and because they focused in on this one menu item, no. They said they want to do one thing best, and that's what they did. Raising Cane's.
Chicken tenders?
Yeah, baby.
It's so weird that they haven't even figured out how to fully cook them.
They have sandwiches.
Carl, do you like Raising Cane's?
I do. But here's the thing. I haven't been able to get a word in on this. I tend to agree with Kevin. It's fucking soggy. But I went recently, and the tenders were a little smaller, and they were crispier.
Okay. So maybe there is a point.
Joe, you're with me though, right?
Maybe right.
I'm with you.
John,
I tend to agree that I do think that they had purchased smaller tenders.
Okay.
So I think the price point per ounceage is less, but they're not doing anything wrong. They're eating them wrong. If you're not eating them right off the bat, that's your own fault. That's like,
these McDonald's fries are 30 minutes old. They don't taste right.
This is a fake part of the equation. This is just your explanation for why something is soggy, and then you tell me that it's not an argument anyone else shares. When Carl knows exactly what I'm talking about. Raising Cane's actually came up earlier this afternoon when I was playing golf with Rex.
You told Carl to say that, man.
I just said that I don't like Raising Cane's, and Rex explained you have to order it extra crispy. Why is he telling me that if this isn't a problem people know about?
Maybe it's just our locations,
Maybe you got a wet Cane's, man.
I don't know. I would never
I'm willing to die on this hill is my problem. Is I really do love it. I think it's so good.
No, well, I would never order McDonald's or Taco Bell and expect to get Taco Bell taken home. If I had to drive 30 minutes and expect the shells to still be crispy, that would be ridiculous.
Kevin,
that's not what's happening.
Kevin's
this is a ridiculous. No, this is a straw man that John made up. That somehow when I visit Raising Cane's, my commute time increases to 45 minutes just magically.
Well, I don't know what you're doing because I haven't had
what's
soggy.
Your commute time?
Now listen. A little. Like if it's bendable, right? Okay, it's fried. You can bend it and break it in half. That is not soggy to me.
It slides off.
You're getting sliders. When was the last time you even had Raising Cane's, bro? I don't even...
The skin's sliding off.
Probably 2-3 years ago.
See, man, they probably up their shit.
Kevin with that.
You're not even current, man. You gotta try it again and reevaluate.
You're concerned about breading sliding off?
Yeah.
Yes.
With them I am. I don't worry about it with any other fried chicken I've ever eaten.
I mean, breading will slide off if you pull it off.
I mean, what do you want? No, he's used to Popeyes,
this is fall off the bone breading.
He's used to Popeyes, where most of what you're eating is breading, and they have their chicken is actually shit. It's very like the what am I trying to say? Like the gristly bullshit that you sometimes you're pulling stuff out of the mouth. Like I don't even want to work on chewing this. Yeah.
You're talking about KFC has that issue a little bit. Popeyes not so much.
So does B-Dubs. Honestly.
No, I had Popeyes recently to do the Pepsi Challenge because of a Raising Cane's conversation we had, and I mean it's good, but it's like they bread the breading and then bread it again. It's all flour.
They do.
Well, you got to transfer it. You got to transfer it into a wet styrofoam container and then drive around for 45 minutes
to get it to taste right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you go to Cane's, you get one of their containers, you put your Popeyes in it.
Listen, I gotta pee. This was fun. All right.
Is anybody gonna play Demio or Rocket League or anything?
No, I don't have
play
any
both of those.
I gotta go
things.
to bed.
I'm just gonna.
Yo,
go
I'll
to
play
bed,
Fall
yeah.
Guys with you, bud. You should get that game.
Play what?
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
I don't know what that is, but I'll look into it.
Now
The
you know
Mario
what
Party
it is.
for PlayStation. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Eat more Raising Canes. A podcast.
Podcast.
A Raising Canes.
Casual.
Fast casual.